This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. This is your host, Jay Christopher. Joining me in our lovely home tonight is Chris and Cherith Wier. Did I say that right? Joining me is Chris and Cherith Wier? Or is it joining me are?
I'm not an English major, so I'm not sure.
I think it's R.
Carissa?
I'm not.
Also here.
I'm not going there.
I don't know.
If I start, I might never stop.
Joining me are, I don't know.
Yeah. Sitting at the same table are Chris Wier, Cherith Wier, and Carissa Bollinger. I was going to use your middle name, nickname. You know, like my middle name is Danger. Your middle name is?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You got to make a name
No
up.
idea where you're going ever.
You got to make a name up.
Oh, no.
What's your made up middle name, Cherith? Rapid fire. Let's go.
I have no idea.
Chris.
This is
Save
why we're
me,
friends.
brother.
He's
No, I
like,
don't have
do
one.
not
You
do
don't have
this
one
to
either?
me.
No.
We usually just go with our normal middle names.
I thought you had one in mind.
No, you got to say, like, my middle name is Danger.
No,
No?
don't have one. If I
Dr.
come up with
Wier.
one,
Dr. Wier. I like that one. All right. Thank you to our sponsors, Complete Auto Service in Richmond, Missouri, Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, Missouri, and the Lawson Review, your hometown newspaper right here in the 64062. Thank you to also of you for supporting the show. You are why we do this and what it's all about. Do not forget, message us for merch on Instagram at Son of the Law Podcast or send a good old-fashioned email at sonoftheLawPodcast@gmail.com. Share the show across all platforms. Encourage people to follow the show. Turn those notifications on so that you can be ready for the next episode. Reminder, we drop every other Monday at 6 a.m. so that drive to work or never miss a Monday workout can be extra special. This episode is brought to you by Complete Auto Service Center. If you've ever gone with the cheapest auto repair only to deal with the same problem again, you already know cheap isn't value. At Complete Auto Service Center, value means fixing it right the first time. Every visit includes a full inspection by experienced, certified technicians, plus a clear report that shows what's good, what needs attention right now, and what can wait. That means fewer surprises, smarter decisions, and a vehicle you can actually trust. And they don't waste your time. Your vehicle is inspected the same day, and they contact you quickly so you're never left wondering what's going on or what comes next. I've known Mark and Amanda for years. They've built a shop that treats customers like family, and family that stands behind their work with quality parts and a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. So before that small issue turns into a big repair, make Complete Auto Service Center your first call. Visit CompleteASC.com or stop by 718 Woolard Boulevard in Richmond. Complete Auto Service Center. Complete maintenance, complete repairs, complete peace of mind. This episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, Missouri. Spring is almost here, and if you're ready for a lawn that actually turns heads this year, now's the time to call Cutting Edge Landscapes. I've trusted them with my own yard, and I can tell you firsthand, the results speak for themselves. Thicker grass, richer color, a lawn that looks professionally cared for because it is. Right now, they're offering a limited time early bird special. When you sign up for all 5 rounds of their professional lawn treatment program, you'll get 50% off aeration or 1 full application absolutely free. It's your choice. And they don't just do lawn treatments. Cutting Edge Landscapes handles everything. Custom landscaping, beautiful hardscapes, sprinkler systems, all completed by licensed professionals who take pride in every detail. With over 40 years serving our community, they've built a reputation for quality work and fair pricing that you can trust. Spring schedules fill up fast, so don't wait. Call Kent and Brandon today, 816-580-3343, or visit callcuttingedge.com. Cutting Edge Landscapes. Your lawn will thank you. This episode almost didn't happen. But when you have great friends, you call them when you are in a time of need. You know, that's how you can tell you have good friends. You're like, hey, I need some help. Some people are broke down on the side of the road. Other people maybe have a truck, and need something hauled.
Need some help moving.
Yeah. Other people have a podcast and their schedule busted, and you have a last minute need for content to make something happen. And Chris and Cherith Wier are like, double date. Here we go.
Got it.
Let's go. But yeah, no guest, no plan. Honestly, considered skipping it. And there's a creative pressure here. Every other Monday, 6 a.m., drive to work, never miss a Monday workout. We want that to be extra special.
Yeah.
And when life is coming at you pretty fast, you better slow down. You just might miss it. Anybody? Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mhm.
Did you ever watch that movie?
I have, yeah.
Yes.
Classic bit.
It is.
Classic quote. But yeah, so the stories matter, and there's a ton of content that we need to get out there. And the feedback that I've received from sometimes these impromptu episodes has been some of the best. And so just because we didn't have it super planned for a long time doesn't mean it's not going to be extra special for all of us. Also, we're inspiring people. We had Michael Berry on last episode, and I've had a number of people reach out just talking about how they were encouraged by his story and, realizing that guy is a real testament to what God can do in a person's life. He can come from a very dark place and come to a very inspired place now, and you kind of just shake your head going, man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. But we have a number of awesome episodes in process and in the plan. And so I want folks to stick around for those and check back often. Chris DeGaulle is coming. I'm going to interview him.
Fun.
I'm going to interview him this week. He was on my bucket list kind of a long time ago, probably 15, 18 months ago, when I started thinking about local people with awesome stories.
Yeah.
And, nationally syndicated talk show host, Northwest Missouri State grad, knew him kind of through people. I didn't know one another personally, but knew of him kind of running in the same social circles. And now he's running for Missouri's 6th congressional district for the House. And so looking forward to talk to him about his life growing up in Ray County and now that path forward. Ben St. Pierre is coming back. He's going to talk about business and family. Daniel McKim, who I went to college with, is coming. And he is a international champion of the Highland Games.
What?
Yep. Like a 6-time champion. The guy's workouts when he was back in the day competing were with throwing telephone poles. He literally was working out. And his objective was to throw a telephone pole. Like the caber flip?
Yeah.
They have like a hammer toss or whatever, these feats of strength. Anyway, the guy's a monster, mountain of a man, an all-around good dude. Also, Greg Taylor, I was chatting with him recently. He's signed up to come on the show.
Okay.
And then I think we're due for a Lawson Bridge update. So gonna start working with the city for something like that. But here we are with Chris and Cherith. Let's just jump in and just say that you have no idea what we're going to talk about.
No idea.
Right?
Nope.
So before we do that, let's take a moment and reintroduce yourselves to our listeners. Tell us a little bit about your family, ties to the Lawson community, how people might know you. This episode is brought to you by the Lawson Review. Since April 8th, 1881, one thing has never stopped in Lawson, Missouri, the local newspaper. From the very first printing of the Lawson Gazette to today's Lawson Review, this is the county's oldest newspaper with uninterrupted publication. Generations have lived it, written it, and read it week after week. The Lawson Review isn't just news. It's school events, local sports, city decisions, community voices, and the stories that may not make the big city headlines, but matter most right here at home. A subscription is just $29 for 1 year or $51 for 2 years. It's an affordable way to support local journalism and stay connected to your community. Contact the Lawson Review at lawsonreview@gmail.com. Visit at 405 North Pennsylvania, Lawson, Missouri, or call 816-296-3412. The Lawson Review, your hometown paper, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
You want to go first, babe?
Go ahead.
I grew up in Richmond. My dad was a pastor there. And probably if you're from Richmond, he pastored for like 35 years. If you're from Richmond, you probably knew me as Brian Guy's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I met in church this guy that started coming to church with his sister. And we started dating. And I think you heard some of that story. If you've listened to Coke, Please.
Yes.
How he went to ask my dad and my dad said no and get lost, and here we are 5 kids later living in Lawson and married for 22 years.
22 years married.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yep. How would you know me around town?
I think everyone knows
Everywhere.
you guys.
Yeah.
Probably Cherith Wier's wife, the doctor's wife. And we're pretty involved in youth sports here in town. So we do pretty much run the baseball, rec baseball.
Rec league. Yep.
Yeah. So I run the concession stand. And so I'm a people person. So I don't mind talking to people. I love being out in the thick of it.
She's very friendly.
Yes.
How would you say people would know Cherith and describe her?
Well, I was just thinking she's got a recent track star.
Oh,
and
yes.
Your kids have been coming into the public school sports
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah. It's been a great
How
experience.
do we know each other? Back in the Journey Girls.
Yeah.
a few workout circles.
We kind of had some workout
Buddies.
buddies together, and then I don't know, I think we did a Bible study together, and then
Did you guys ever
The
do
rest is
plank
history.
competitions?
No.
no.
Glute bridges?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I wonder if Daniel McKim could walk 4.5 miles with Cherith, but
He probably killed me because his legs are a
Oh
lot
my
longer than
gosh.
mine.
girl marches.
Oh, yeah. I understand what you mean now. I'm thinking, hey, I bet he could carry her for 4 miles. Keep up with her is another story if they were both walking on the same speed.
It'd probably take 2. I've met Daniel McKim, and he'd probably be 2 of my steps to 1 of his. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Chris, anything to add?
I would say that
A little closer to the mic there, big guy.
Yeah, I would say that knowing Cherith when this goes way back when Sammy was first born, our oldest, 2010, and Cherith became a homestay mom soon after. And I remember her coming to me and saying, I know nobody. Like, I don't know anybody in Excelsior. And we were coming to Lawson. She said, I don't know anybody. Like, I don't have any girls that I run with. There was nobody. So yeah, she was a social butterfly. And just now, you know, if I need to know somebody, like at the track meet or whatever, I'm like, whose mom is that? Whose dad is that?
Yeah.
Who is that over there? You know,
It's the dependable lean.
yeah. And people come over to me and they act like they know me and they talk to me or whatever. I'm like, I have no idea who you are, you know? And then they're like, oh no, we know your wife. We know your wife. We don't know you, but yeah. So
Which is really funny if you ask my parents, because when I was younger, I could not get up and talk in front of anyone without crying.
Really?
Yes. I was so shy.
Really?
Yes.
A little Tia.
I know. I was
did not
my
know.
youngest daughter. I know. I was so shy, and I would never be the first to talk or put myself out there.
What
ever.
changed?
1 year, I don't remember what grade I was in. Maybe 8th grade or something. My uncle always took a ski trip to Minnesota with whoever wanted to go, cousins and all that. I never wanted to go because I was always afraid. I was just a fraidy cat.
Really?
Yeah. So I never wanted to go. And my parents said, you are going this year. I was like, I don't want to go. I'm going to fall. I'm going to look stupid. And they're like, you're going. And I went and I loved it. And that just kind of was the stepping
catalyst.
stone of, you can do hard things.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris? Have you ever been afraid of anything like that?
not that I recall anyway. I don't think so. I'm kind of out there and enjoying doing new things, and I think I started that young. But definitely a challenge for kids because, as you know, every kid's different. So we have some kiddos like that at home. I won't name any names, but a couple of those kiddos that really want to go out and do anything. And then there's a couple kiddos that we've had some speeches with in homeschooling. They've had to stand up before a crowd, and man, it's almost non-existent. Like just to walk up there, they're already tearful, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Well, 5 kids,
yeah,
22 years married.
yeah.
We have stumbled upon today's conversation topic.
Oh my.
Yeah. So Carissa and I just celebrated. Well, we haven't celebrated yet. It's
Tuesday.
It's this coming Tuesday, June 2nd. 25 years.
25 years.
Good job.
Wow.
Super
We're
excited.
so old.
Yeah.
That's true. We went into a chocolate shop, and I don't think this was creepy. You be the judge if this is creepy or not.
You totally threw this girl off. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just
He's good at that.
we were ordering chocolates, and they were delicious, by the way. Shout out to Christopher Elbow Chocolate Shop in Chocolatier, artisanal chocolate in Kansas City. Beautiful,
Okay.
absolutely beautiful
and tasty.
and tasty. Anyway, it occurred to me that while we were buying chocolate, that Carissa and I had been married longer than these workers had been alive. And
So he asked.
I just started asking them how old they were.
How old are you? How old are
Is
you?
that creepy? I don't think so.
She
I just
looked
said-
up like,
I go, hey,
Excuse me?
how old are you?
no, you didn't do it like that.
It was a little bit like that.
It was
She
out of
goes, I'm
left field.
22. I said, yep, older than you. And then this other one was like 20. She said, nobody asked me that, but I'm 24.
Okay.
So, yep, we've been married longer than you guys have been alive. So,
I feel like when you're in your 20s, you volunteer your age quickly.
well, over the course of the evening, Carissa and I were making efforts to celebrate this milestone year. And the way that we chose to do that was to look at AI and ask it for questions that would help us reflect on our marital journey. And we worked our way through the list over the through the night, and we found it to be a really fun
Okay.
experience.
All right.
And so we are going to get to know Chris and Cherith Wier in what I'm calling the fire pit double date.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
So imagine a deck of cards that we randomly flip over and ask questions of our lovely guests, and then pontificate about all of life's marital bliss.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to jump
Got it.
right in with some rapid fires before we get into the double date deck. These are for everybody. Rapid fire questions, go quick. Okay. Who is more likely to eat late at night? Chris or
Chris.
Cherith?
Chris.
Chris.
Chris B.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was going to say, this
J.
is going to be
Christopher.
confusing.
That's
Chris
true.
and Chris.
Yes, I'm a closet eater too. I will just eat whatever, whenever. Who are the kids' favorite parent right now?
Oh,
Oh, got to be mom. Yeah, Cherith for sure.
probably me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's always mom. It's me when there is like occasionally it's me when there's like logic or something that's needed, but mom.
It's true. That's completely true.
But it's like 95% of the time it's mom. Who apologizes first after an argument?
Probably neither.
You never argue?
No, it's very difficult for us to apologize. So
Really?
both of us, yeah.
You never apologize?
I
No.
do. I am the first because usually I just can't take it anymore.
That's, I would say the same. I think there's going to be a lot of that.
It may be.
One of those things Chris and I have is we say something and I go, and this is why we are
And
friends.
this
Yeah.
is why we're
Same
friends.
brain.
Exactly.
Who is more likely to start a home project and not finish it? That's me in the Bollinger household.
Oh.
I can't even fold my clothes and put them away.
Oh.
She
I'm probably
will.
not that great at even starting a project. So
Yeah, definitely on our side, it's me. There's all kinds of random things that I've started and tried to do. And yeah, Cherith's better at it, of going up and staying on topic and doing whatever needs to be done. Homeschooling for me, as if we switched roles, would be a bad idea for all people involved. The people that were getting medical care, and have a lady that doesn't like blood, and then the guy that wouldn't be able to stay on topic. So we just say, hey, recesses now till the end of the day.
That's right.
Let's go out and play basketball.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot at recess.
Who loses their phone more often?
You do.
Me.
It's true. Cherith does.
Mm-hmm.
Who is more likely to say, we don't need that, and then buy it anyway?
Ooh. I don't know.
Me?
It's totally you.
Oh.
You're looking at me like this is a question.
We do that every time we go to Costco together.
We enable each
"Oh, look
other.
at this. We don't really need this. Let's buy it
If
anyway.
you guys wondered what the problem was, it's this right here.
Okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
But you and I buy completely differently, so that's where my brain
That's
went.
true.
Yeah,
When I
that's true.
spend a lot of dollars. When she spends little dollars, but she buys a lot of things. So, who is more likely to say, oh no, that's not it. Who falls asleep first on the couch?
Chris.
Really?
Chris.
You eat late and then you fall asleep.
So do you.
It's true. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just going spade.
You say it like you don't understand it.
Who is more likely to cry during a movie?
Oh, me.
Me.
When was the last time you cried, Chris?
At a movie.
At
In a movie.
At anything.
Oh, I'd cry all the time about stuff.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
What gets you emotional, big guy?
Preaching.
Really?
Absolutely. Talking about topics that mean something to me and verbalizing that to people.
Do you have the ability to cry without your mouth going like
Like
down and
quivering?
I try not.
This
my
is
voice
it's
starts.
like a pretty tear that just comes out.
It's not the tear thing. It's just the voice thing, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to get your voice back. Like,
He does that a lot. He does that a lot.
yeah,
You can tell his eyes
Come on.
get a little bit
Come on.
red, and then he's like,
yeah,
That was emotional.
yeah.
Who is becoming more like their parents over time?
"Oh God."
Oh man, both of us mean a lot.
I was gonna say, is there one or the other?
Yeah.
It's totally me. Chris is just being quiet over here on this side.
I was going to say me.
Really?
Yeah, my mom.
Yes.
That's true.
You? It's you?
Well, I'm a bowlinger through and through.
That's true.
It's wonderful and terrible all at the same time. It's great until it isn't. You know what I mean? When my dad would hear me, sometimes you need somebody like that. Is what he'd
There
say.
you go.
Who's more likely to talk to strangers in public?
You.
I would say Chris, but if I'm in a comfortable situation, even if I don't know anybody, I will talk to someone.
Yeah.
But
To
if
break
I'm
the ice.
yeah, but if I'm in a situation where I'm not as comfortable, then Chris will be the one to
Yeah. If
strike
we're
up a
around
conversation.
Lawson, baseball game, sporting event, whatever, Cherith is definitely talking to everybody more. If we're out in Colorado, we go somewhere we don't know anybody, it's me. I'm doing the social thing, talking to everybody.
Stepping out front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
Doesn't bother me.
All right.
That'd be true for us, I think.
I like that. Yeah, because I can go incognito occasionally. It's kind of cool. I want to act like an introvert occasionally. All right, enough of that. Some goals for this episode: laugh and inspire, encourage daily delays, weekly withdrawals, and annual abandon for all, strengthen marriages, provide a resource or resources for folks as we talk through, and then have some fun. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds
like
good.
Okay. So the game is like this. And when we get into something like this, and I found that the audience that listens to our show is very diverse. So we'll have people who've been married a long time and who are just listening to encourage. There have been people who say, hey, this was a really good episode for this particular reason, and they'll share it with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who are like kids that are just listening because they know, and it's kind of a Lawson thing.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it's just kind of a small town thing. And eventually, I think when this podcast goes nuclear, which I don't know that it ever will, but it's a hope that people will have a resource to reflect on, you know, when they're young, just considering marriage, you know, like what's it look like? What should it look like?
Yeah.
And if you look at some of the statistics, which I talked with Nelson and Amy Canning about, they're really kind of abysmal for you know, the number of marriages that end in divorce and for different reasons. And so, round one, back when you had nothing.
Oh my.
What originally made you think I could build a life with this person?
Originally, I think the way that he interacted with his family and the way that he interacted with my family. His family is really important to us and to me. So when I saw that this guy could not just accept, but be part of my family and get in with all its quirks and its weird whatever, you know, and flow with it. And then I saw how he interacted with his family. I was like, this is
a family
could work.
man.
this is my guy. So
You have something else you want to add there, Chris?
Yeah, family's a big thing. I think one of the things that would draw me to Cherith as well is when we were dating, and even that's continued and grown, is a love that she had for my mom and dad, and I have a love for her mom and dad as well. I know a lot of people unfortunately don't get to have that opportunity, right? And so for me, it's a big thing. I enjoy being around my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. I enjoy learning from them. I enjoy doing things. In fact, we're getting ready to leave for vacation in July. We're going to go out to Keystone, Colorado, and we're going to take them with us. And we just want to spend time with them and things. And hey, do they ever rub me the wrong way? Do they ever, you know, whatever the case might be? Sure. But who doesn't, right? So I think that was a thing that Cherith loves John and Becky. And, you know, if I wasn't around, it's not just, hey, they're going to come over when Chris is there or whatever. They can come over anytime. Cherith rode with them down the state track meet, on and on the story goes, you know. That's what I enjoy about my wife and even a girlfriend at one time that cared about my family when I wasn't around.
I love that. How old were you when you guys got married?
I was 23.
I was 29.
23 and 29.
Yeah.
Okay. This question came up last night when we were, again, celebrating. There are some kids in the church that have gotten married recently, very young. And I was thinking, man, they're really young. I don't know that they're ready for marriage. And then I start reflecting upon how old I was when I got married. And we're like the same age.
Right.
And I'm like, were we ready? You know?
Are you ever ready for something like that? It's
Absolutely
like
not.
kids. Like,
yeah.
Welcome to the question, right?
Yeah.
So that's the question. When you got married at 23 and 29 respectively, I think I was 21, you were 22. Were you ready?
So we talked about this question with Cherith's sister and oldest sister and brother-in-law the other night. You know, so being married at 29 is not maybe the most common thing, or it wasn't back then, maybe. You know. So I had a career at the time. Cherith did as well. So much different than our parents' story, being married 19 or 20 years old, not having anything at all. You know. So, but no, looking back on it. No, we weren't ready, but at the same time, there would have never been a ready opportunity. But I will say this: we had, again, going back to reflect on the parents, we had parents that had insight, and we were grateful for that insight, so we took advantage of it. So, capitalizing a little bit on the Cannings being here, right? We had a mom and dad that said, hey, when we were dating, they said, we want to send you to a marriage life conference. So you can go there and not be married. So they you know, at the time I would say, hey,
we weren't
you know,
casually dating though. Like we were like,
we were
the
serious.
next step
Yeah.
was,
the next step was marriage. So they knew that coming along. So, for me, if they would have said, hey, we would love for you guys to go to a marriage conference that's going to cost $50, I'd have been out. That's $45 too much that I wanted to spend, But these guys said, hey, we're going to get a hotel, 2 rooms, separate rooms for you guys, and we're going to foot the bill. We're going to pay for everything in this. So they started to sow into us. So we didn't go in maybe as blind as we could have, right? We had some people speaking into our lives, some people even outside of my mom and dad speaking into our lives. So we had a little preparation ready when we walked into it. And I think that was, looking back, huge and important in that opportunity to go to those things. So as you guys know, going to those things, they're going to ask you questions, put you in situations that you could never involve, right? Because we're looking at each other, and my mom and dad are saying, hey, sometimes you guys are going to get in an argument. Oh, no. We love each other. We're never going to argue, never going to have a problem, So we had to have those questions to say, hey, how many kids are you going to have?
Exactly.
Are you going to do
Never
this?
have
Are you
to.
going to do that? And those kind of things come up. So we started to walk through those things. How will we address this and that? Couldn't get ready for everything, but I think there was some groundwork there that was really good. So we were maybe up 0.5 when we started.
Yeah. Our answer was, you're ready at the maturity level that you're able to comprehend at the time, you know?
I think I said immature. I was about as ready as I could in my immaturity.
Sure. But, yeah.
But you never really know exactly what you're getting into. And so that's a
No.
trick, right? So at some point, this is like a faith thing, and you just YOLO, right?
Yeah. Did you just say YOLO?
He did.
Okay.
Once in a while, you got to bring out I'm Unk in every way.
He likes to throw that out there.
And your kids look at you like, what?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What did your spouse believe in you before you fully believed in yourself? And again, as you are thinking about questions, I'm reminding everybody listening that this is unscripted. They do not know these questions are coming. We're working through this together. You can play along, and would encourage everybody to have a conversation like this with your spouse. And I think you'll find it healing and healthy.
Yeah. I think for me, for Chris, it was that I can do things that I didn't think I can do. I'm stronger than you think, I guess. And not like physically stronger, just you can do hard things. And that was when I met him. I think the part that drove me to him, that he was just a little bit dangerous. I was very timid, and he was not timid. And he was trying all these dangerous things and riding motorcycles off of whatever, and all the fun things. So that drew me to him, because I was so opposite. So I think for me, it was him speaking into me without saying it. You can do these hard things. You're stronger than you think you are. So.
Give me the question again.
What is something that your spouse believed in you before you believed in yourself?
So I think loyalty would be one, right? Naomi and Ruth in the Bible, there's this famous verse. We had it above our bed for a long time, and it's kind of what Cherith said to me when we got married, or even before. But just said, "Hey, wherever you go, that's where I'm going to go." So and we're still walking that out, right? And
that's a bold thing to put before a husband.
Yeah, absolutely.
No pressure, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about the story that I've walked through before, and both of us walked through. But I think that was the thing to say, hey, if you quit your job, we don't have financial income coming in. If we move here, if we move there, if we do this, if we do that, I trust that God's going to do something through you, and I'll follow you. I'll go with you, and even there's been times, as you guys know, being married for 25 years, you come to a road and you both disagree. And she's not going to budge, and you're not going to budge, and this is what we're going to do. And there's just a moment of hours or days of silence, and then most of the time Cherith will come and say, hey, I trust that whatever we do, you'll be the one to lead us to do it. So you do what you think's right, and I'll follow you, whatever you decide. And then you just say, "Oh, great. Well, hey," and then you go back and say, "Now I really got to think about this.
Yeah.
Now,
This is heavy.
now-
This is a lot.
yeah, this is heavy for somebody to say that I trust you." So I think that loyalty does something to you because you begin to not just think for yourself flippantly.
Yeah.
Making decisions that will be long term best for both of you is a big decision. And somebody to say, "Hey, even if you foul up," and I've done that. I think I've done it once. Once I messed up.
Just once?
Just once. There was a
I
second time.
can't think of a time I've never seen you fall.
To know that she'll come along and say, "Hey, it's okay."
Yeah.
You know.
Love that. What is something that you miss about your early years together when your life was simpler? While you think, my answer to this is, I remember when we wanted to go somewhere before kids, it was literally triple tap, phone, keys, wallet,
Off we go.
and in the car. I might have to put my shoes on. Sometimes I went without my shoes. But when we started having kids, when things were simpler, it was not easy to get in the car. And I was like, why is this taking so long?
Diaper bag, nap schedule.
Oh, I forgot this. Yeah.
What's your answer to that? Do you have an answer to that, my love?
Oh, just let's go for a walk. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Carefree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirs?
We've loved. We've talked about this several times. We've loved every aspect of 22 years. You know, we talk about
stage.
living in that little tiny house. You know, and you thought it was a mansion, and we just absolutely loved it. You know, and walking it out, and I could go on and on about stuff that we had. We just absolutely loved it. But I think one thing that is challenging for me, and it's as much my fault above Cherith, is just that opportunity when we would date a little bit more. You know, I would take time to think those things out. What is she really like? What is she? You know, I would study her. I guess I should say. I was really studying her, and those times are more challenging now for me.
Because everything's busy.
Yeah.
Everything's
less
busy,
simple.
yeah. And I don't want an excuse for that. But that would be my thing. You know, we had more of a spark sometimes, and that's more of a challenge now. The season that we're in.
Brilliant. What was your biggest... Oh, did you answer, Cherith?
What do I miss? I think just the ability to be together and not have to think about when's the next baseball game. I got to make sure I get this done. Just to be like, hey, let's sit and watch a movie and not have to worry about anything else. Let's have a bowl of cereal for dinner instead of making dinner. And, you know.
Would you say that's space for rest? Or was that just because things were so simple that you didn't have other things competing for your time? Would you say that you were blissfully ignorant to other things that could occupy your time at that point? You know?
I think your brain just you can slow down. Just more brain space. Like you're
When
not
you're
cycling
younger?
so well when you're not thinking about all the things that are you have to stop thinking about what's coming tomorrow, what's coming the next week, what do I need to plan, what do I need to prepare, what list do I need to make. All of those things, those lists are longer. Those people depending there's more.
Yeah, the only person that depended on me was Chris. Chris really didn't even need to depend on me, but it was just the two of us. So it's not like you had to make sure people were fed or...
There's some autonomy in it.
I'm sure.
Your brain just slows down a different way.
Sure.
What was your biggest unrealistic expectation about marriage? And this is PG-13 if you got that question.
Your biggest unrealistic expectation.
Yep.
May I?
Absolutely.
Within days of getting married, do you remember this? You said to me, whatever you think it is that I know, I don't know. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to be reading from your mind, I am not, you're going to have to tell me.
Yeah.
We hadn't been married 2 weeks.
Yes. One of Carissa and I's early struggles was she had and still does. We have this like beautifully romantic idea of what the relationship should look like, right? You know, through good examples, through good books, you know, and expectations through people who've lived life, right?
Yeah.
She's observed men that care for their wives, and over the course of many years, they read and understand them. Well, I'm 21 years old and I don't understand. No,
Do not know what's happening.
what this breath means or what this expectation is that
Boy house.
Yeah.
From a boy house.
I'm supposed to lock the door, or I'm supposed to, you know, whatever. So that was a trick to figure that out.
You got one, babe?
Biggest unrealistic expectation about marriage.
You got one?
I'm blank right now.
Biggest.
How about a struggle from your early years that makes you laugh now? Because looking back about, you know, something that maybe was such a big deal then, and now it's like, we were kids. We had no
You were
idea.
so stupid. Yeah.
I think they continue to happen, right? We continue to have these things that seem big, you know, back then. Maybe it'd be a financial thing or something like that. We just think, you know what, if we just put our noses to the ground here, in 2 months we'll be out of this. In 3 months we'll be out of this. You know, if that hurdle's over, we'll go to this one. And it's always an ongoing thing, right? You just
1 month.
accept.
That 1 month was the longest 2 months of the last year.
Yes. Yeah. So there's always a challenge, and yeah, I think we just go through them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anything to add, Cherith?
Can't think of a particular struggle, though. I do remember things that later on now I'm like, that was so stupid. Why did we even argue about that? Yeah.
Growing up together, though, right?
Yeah. We did argue about when we needed to get a new car because we had 3 children strapped in 3 in car seats in the back of a Fusion.
Oh, did you go minivan?
Ours was a Taurus.
No, we've since then we've been expeditions all the way.
Never
Really?
Every
skipped
single
the
time.
minivan stage.
Yeah, I swore I would never drive a minivan.
So I'm
And
not
my husband has never made me drive a minivan. So see,
Wow.
I'm not a.
For a minivan.
So funny.
It should be known that I'm not a big purchaser. I'm not the guy that's going to
You
make
seem like a regular sized purchaser.
I'm not going to make a big purchase, you know. So if we're going to make a purchase for a vehicle, a bicycle would be good.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have a flat tire, it'd even be better, you know. So that's kind of how I've done life.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Cherith hasn't done it that way, you know. So yeah. So we had 3 kids, and we had a Fusion, and I figured out all these tricks to get them in the back seat.
which car seat's the smallest? Can
yeah,
you get
yeah,
an expander for the seatbelt? And
on and on and on. Yeah.
that was one of those things where I had to be like, okay, Lord, I'm just gonna have to let it go until
Wherever
he
you
figures
go.
it out.
Wherever
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. So
And
thankfully,
then what happened that you decided we need a new car? You remember? You had to take the 3 kids somewhere. And one of them was an infant, so the seat had to be backwards. And so the only place to put it in that Fusion is in the middle. So you have 2 forward facing and one so you had to climb over, stick it in. And he had to go to the grocery store. And he comes and he goes, we need a new car. It's like,
Thank you, Lord.
I've been doing this for a while, bud.
So thankfully, I have a wife that's a planner, so she had already been planning on that and working her way financially to that. So that's good.
Awesome. That's awesome.
We had a neighbor, shout out to Dave Rumsey, across the street. He was a banker at the time. And I remember him telling us that the best way to save money is to minimize purchases. And so Chris would
Minimize
say that
transactions.
to me. Yeah, minimize transactions. And you would say that to me, and I'd be like, thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
thanks so much, Dave.
Thank you for that advice.
So I would delay the transaction. You know.
Fewer transactions.
Yeah. Put the
That's the
transaction off
answer.
to next year or the year after.
Yes, I can relate.
Is every transaction cost you money?
That's
It
right.
costs you something.
That's right.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Chris,
I'm
you
sure
used,
it was grounded in logic and statistics.
Oh yeah. You used the term "growing up together," and you blasted your way into round 2. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What season of marriage stretched you the most growing up together? What season of marriage stretched you the most?
It's easy for me to think about that. It was when our first kid arrived. So we were married. We were married for 6 years before Sammy, our oldest, now at 16, came along. And that was overly challenging. So when I see young mom and dads that have 3-month-old, 6-month-old, whatever, I remember those days, man. Mm-hmm. And we can laugh about it now. Very challenging. So Sammy was born, had some minor medical complications, spent a week at Children's Mercy. Mm-hmm. So we had this grand idea of having a new kiddo, right? We're going to come home and the balloons are going to be there and all the things are going to happen. Didn't happen. And then Sammy was delayed for a week on all the things that a kid should start off with. So when we got home, there were more challenges. Cherith, for the first time in her adult life, was not going to work anymore. Mm-hmm. So I just remember, again, we can laugh at it now. I remember coming home and literally, I would say, I don't even know this lady. Like, I didn't even know who Cherith was. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd come home, Sammy had been crying all day. Cherith's been home all day. Nobody's talked to her or whatever. And she would literally just say, "You got to have the baby. I'm out of here." And she would just go for a walk. And I would be like, "Who is this lady, man?" Like,
hormones are raging at this point.
And just upset about things. I couldn't believe it. I was like, So it was a very, very, very challenging thing for me. And, through support system of church and other things, I felt almost embarrassed to talk about those kind of things because people would just come up to me and say, "Oh, you got a new girl. I bet your life's going great for me." And I'd say, "Sure is."
Sure.
Yeah. So it's very challenging for her as well, and she was challenged by both sides of it. She would, go for this walk and be upset and everything, and then come home in the guilt of, I'm not being a good mom, not being a good wife, and on and on. So that was overly challenging for us when we walked through it.
What season you said? I think this one, honestly, the one season we're in right now. Our kids are, our oldest is 16, so she's just started driving, which has been amazing. And our youngest... Amazing good, yes. Yeah. I guess I realize I'm not a hover mom where I have to keep tabs and I'm really a nervy mom. So having an extra driver to take kids places or even take herself places instead of me having to take her has been great. And she's very responsible.
I was going to say, you got a great kid.
Yeah, she's very responsible. So that's helpful. But this one I think is the hardest for me. I've found is the hardest because I'm trying to maneuver children going through, involved in so many things, and yet still be a wife. All the hats, I guess, you have to wear.
Yeah.
And the age in life that I am, and just things that it's hard mentally for me to be like not down on myself. So it's hard. For me, it's this stage has been the hardest because and you get in your mind of, I'm being a bad mom. I'm being a bad wife. I'm not keeping up with what I should. I'm failing at this. All the negatives start to
Pulled
get in
in
on you.
So many different directions.
Yeah. Carissa has occasionally, it's yours to say, but I mean, you were saying that there's not enough of me to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that to my kids often. There is only one of me. So.
What hardship unexpectedly strengthened your relationship? And again, for those at home, you can play along here. Take the list. Listen to the episode.
Pause
hit pause.
the episode. Talk it over.
Yeah. What hardship unexpectedly strengthened your relationship?
It's a challenge, I think, for us because I want to say we were the people that see the glass that's half full, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times there are some challenging things that come along, and I think given a little bit of time, we see this as an opportunity, So some of the hardships, maybe somebody would, if you could filter through the life and say, "Oh, I bet you this was really hard, or that was really hard, or whatever." So man, but it was a great stepping stone for us. I don't know. I'm tight-lipped to say my hard struggle this one time when I had a flat tire, and here I am living in America, Lawson, Missouri, living the high life, or whatever the case might be. But I think we see things as just a glass half full. I can think of several times that we've been challenged and in our faith where we didn't see things going a certain way. Moving to Lawson was one of them. Cherith said this has been back 10 years ago. Cherith said the one thing I don't want to do is we sell our small home, that we sell it when we have a child, just a child's born. So we had our house for sale for a year, and we sold it. Then on the last day, somebody backed out, and so on and so forth. So we're in Liberty Hospital, and Justice is just born, and a lady calls and says, I want to buy your house. And this is the exact same thing Cherith said. I don't want to happen. So we got a kiddo, and we show up at home, and we're moving, and we don't have a place to move. And, those are times that you remember, and those are faith building times to say, hey, what are we going to do here? How are we going to work this thing out? Long story to go through, but those are faith builders for us when we think that this is not what we wanted to do. And then you look back 5 years, 2 years later, and you say, it's exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
This was happening the whole time.
That's great.
Thought you were going to say that Cherith said when we moved that I would not ever live on gravel. I said, I don't care where we move.
That too, my friend.
I don't care where we move. I would love to move to the country. I am not living on gravel.
Gravel is a tie that binds and divides. I mean, I never wanted to live on gravel.
Yes.
Carissa was like, but this house is so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care.
Not cute enough.
I'm not doing it.
Especially when you're
like
homeless. When you're homeless, it's
especially when you're living with your parents.
Yeah, when we're living with
With
our
a baby.
parents and we go look at houses and we're looking at this, I'm like, babe, we got to get this one. She goes, it's on gravel. I'm not living there. Well, back to your parents then.
Glad you like them and love learning from them.
And a God story in itself, right? Because everybody said you are never going to find a house with acreage on blacktop. It's not going to happen, especially in Lawson, outside of Lawson. Not going to happen. Never.
Guess what?
And guess what? My God is bigger than that. And where do we live? On blacktop, outside of town.
Yep.
And almost 10 acres. So, yeah. So it was a God thing, not anything we did for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What was your question? Your one was about what is the hardship, right?
What's the hardship unexpectedly strengthened your relationship?
I think aging parents or parents that have health issues, Chris's parents are in great health. My dad has Parkinson's and had some cancer things. So I think having to deal with that gives a new depth to your marriage and supporting each other and seeing, how do we deal with it and how do I support you as you struggle with your dad's in and out of the hospital or struggling or, those kind of things. I'm sure Chris has the same with her mom.
Yeah.
So
That would have been my answer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. Question I think we had last night was one thing that surprised us about marriage and certain things, and when those external forces manifested themselves, we didn't see them coming, and then we have to respond and we change as people, and
because in your mind, right, your parents are an eternally whatever age. My dad is eternally in his 50s. Fixing cars, making things, fixing whatever's out of the house, until you realize he's really not,
Yeah.
So
What's one thing marriage forced you to mature in?
everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got married and realized how selfish I was. I had a kid and I realized how selfish I was, and it just kept going.
Yep, that was my answer. Thank you for taking it. I'm glad we're aligned on it, at least.
I'll just ditto what you guys said and go with it.
Yeah.
I still see even when I think I'm making a decision for everybody else, it still involves some type of selfishness of my own.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, for me to get away from it, especially in marriage.
Over dinner last night, Chris and I were remarking on how, and you've said this in different ways for years, if we could just figure out how to work together, we'd be a great team. and we've built this amazing life.
Yeah.
And we know how to work together about 75% of the time because she's got her vision of what life's supposed to be, and I've got my vision of what life's supposed to be, and those don't. I mean, it's compatible, but they're not always aligned, and there's some friction there.
I think I said that about building a house.
Yeah. And
which is why we'll never probably build a house.
Every home project is a opportunity for us to grow.
That's a good way to put it.
I'm learning. When did you most feel like true partners? When did you feel like we're in this together here?
Discussed it in the episode that I was on with you, Chris, but the opportunity to be jobless, and then to go from a high-paying job to working out as a certified nursing assistant, which is a great job as well. Looking back, Cherith would go to work. She was a pharmacy manager in Richmond, and she would take me to work and drop me off. I would walk after I got off work, and I would walk through Richmond over to her mom and dad's house. And so those were challenging times, but also the peak of some of our good times, because to know that it didn't matter if I was making, I didn't have to be ashamed if when I brought my paycheck home and goes, here's my $326 for the weekend. It was okay. She could say, hey, I got this. I'm going to take care of these bills. I'm going to take care of these things while we do this. We're in this together, so go ahead and toss your 10 cents in here.
Thank you.
Thanks for your contribution. I'd say the same. I think that time when Chris said, hey, I think I need to take this buyout at the Ford plant, and he's making good money and had great insurance, and we were just together, and we were like, all right, let's do this. And he came home and has bombed his first biology test, and all right, you're going to be fine. What are we going to do?
Yep.
What do we do? We got this. So, I think that's probably when I felt like we felt the most together.
Yeah, friends of the show, to know more about that story, encourage you to listen to the Coke Please episode. I think it was episode 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was an
early on. Yeah, we're 44 deep now.
Oh, man.
So, okay, good. That's good feedback. What is something that younger couples worry about too much?
One of the things we worried about that a gentleman named Everett Thompson came to us one time and talked to us about, worried about, like, when do you have kids, right? You want to have kids too early, too late, whatever the case might be. So he had just come to us one time and said, hey, I just want to encourage you. I don't know what's going on, but if you're trying to save up enough money to have a kid, it ain't ever going to happen.
Yeah.
If you're trying to find a good time to have a kid, ain't never going to happen. Just go for a family if that's what your vision is. And that's what our vision was. We want to have a big family. So he said, I just encourage you to go for it. Don't try to plan everything out, have all the T's crossed, I's dotted. Yeah. So that was an encouraging word to us. Let's not try to figure everything out here. Let's just go in a direction where God wants us to be.
Yeah. Can I echo that real quick? So recently we've just been talking about, kids transitioning into other things. You're going to college now. What do you want to do afterwards or whatever? And it's forcing us as a family to reflect upon what is the most important thing to think about and focus on, right? And it's right to focus on your career. It's right to focus on making the dollars and to, set yourself up for that next season or whatever. But what's more important is to just live a godly life.
Yeah.
Just moment by moment, relationship by relationship.
Sure.
Stewardship, decision by stewardship decision, take that step. What's right in front of you?
Totally agree.
Is it in line with, will, plan, and purpose, or is it not? Yes. Yeah. Go that direction. Yeah, no, go the other direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to somebody like me who's like really futuristically oriented and whatnot, that's very challenging to embrace. So I appreciate that word. Yeah. Cherith, what were you going to say?
Tell me the question again.
something young couples worry about too much. My love, if you have anything else to
What would you say?
I was
Carissa,
the advice that this gentleman gave Chris. That was Mom's advice.
Really?
That she would always say that.
It's good. Yep. Debbie's voice echoes.
Yeah. Well, it is in my head.
Yeah.
I would say appearances.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Sometimes you're flying in, nobody's ready. You don't have it all together. You're trying to get to church, or you're late, or whatever. And I know a lot of young moms talk about feeling judged. I remember that feeling, but as an older mom now, all I have is grace for you. You know, we're just looking and smiling and thinking back and encouraging and cheering you on. You know, like, you're here. Yeah. We've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember getting so mad at the kids because they wouldn't walk faster.
I remember. Yeah.
Let's go.
And now, you know, I hang out with the nieces and nephews or whoever, you know, and I'm just like happy to just walk with them, you know. Then mom or dad will come over and just pick up the kid and take him up there because they're frustrated. I'm like, whoa, hey, I can do it. I'm cool. We're cool. We're just chilling out here. It's all good.
Yeah, I would echo that appearances. Like, don't worry about what it should look like or if it looks like someone else's, or I feel like social media does not help. You have to have the right picture. You have to have her on the right outfit. You have to look the right way, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is your relationship. This is your life. This is your relationship with you two and the Lord.
Yeah.
Just do what he tells you to do.
Yeah.
It's good.
Let the fur fly, as my dad would say.
I like that.
Yeah. Cherith and I have had the privilege to do premarital counseling with some younger folks as well. We try to encourage them as well to, you know, when you look out across the view of marriages and stuff, I look at your guys' place, let's say, I pull in here, you know, go out to John and Becky's, I go wherever I go, you know, I see these people that have been married 20, 30, 40 years, and I see this house, I see this land and stuff like that. And I say, I want that tomorrow. I want that tomorrow. And you can get it tomorrow. However, it comes with a price. And so I, you know, we would encourage those young people as we started, just, hey man, just enjoy being broke. Just enjoy being having a coffee table that you found on a get free sign from the neighbors. Man, just enjoy it. And trying to be somebody else, to be the Bowlingers or be whoever it is, it's just a waste of time, man. You know, so just enjoy where you're at and don't try to be somebody else. What you're not.
Good feedback.
Well, and even we keep answering these questions, and my mind just keeps going back to some of the tough times. Or the times where you're scrubbing up vomit while I'm bathing somebody, or you know, just those rough
vomit
moments
by the kids, not my own.
There you go.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, but you know, just those killer times where you're like, Lord, just can you get everyone well and stay well
Chris,
for a
you
minute?
enjoy this.
But, no, I'm not encouraging you to enjoy it. That's going to be tough. But those are the times where you're like, this guy's not going anywhere. He's cleaning up vomit for the 10th time today, or you know, just I mean, those are the times that make other times so much sweeter.
Yeah.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
What is something you appreciate now that you overlooked early in your marriage?
Appreciate now.
So me, it'd be a little bit off of our marriage, but still go along with my father and my father-in-law. You know, as you guys know, how can you know what your parents have sacrificed until you're a parent?
That's the truth.
Man, you know, and my father, and you know, where I come from, looking at my father, not really having a father, and then Brian Guy, my father-in-law, having a good father, but not a godly father. So these guys, really first generation godly men, really, you know, and then sowing that into me. So I didn't have an appreciation or respect for those kind of things until I got older, and then my wife encouraging me in that to follow it. So, you know, simply put, an opportunity for me to be involved with those kind of guys. So there's a men's meeting. It's Saturday morning, 6:30 to 7:30 with these old guys that are 50 something years old. You know, I'm in my 20s, you know, like these old guys, they don't even know anything, you know, they're drinking coffee, black coffee, you know? So my wife encouraged me and said, hey, you should go do that on Saturday morning. You should be a part of that. And encouraged me to do those kind of things. So those things I overlooked, and now I look back and, I'm glad I took advantage, and sometimes I'm sad that I didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, even more. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I see these young guys have an opportunity to do that, I encourage them. But I can understand when they say, "What time is it in the morning?" 6:30. They go, "That's my only day to sleep in, right?" And I go, and I look at them and I go, "I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I was there. Yep.
Yeah.
So
maybe next time. Catch you next week. You got anything to add there, Cherith?
I would say what I overlooked. Dave Ramsey talks about the free spirit and the nerd. I am the nerd, so I can be a little bit of a penny pincher sometimes. And Chris is definitely the free spirit, especially when it comes to giving. Like, somebody needs something, this person needs new tires on their cars. Let's buy them some tires from Rob's Used Tires or whatever. And for me, if it does not fit on my budget line, it's really hard for me to branch out. So
can we find another account for that?
So something that I didn't appreciate was that of God has never let us go hungry. If we give money and help someone else out, God, and we take it out of something that we're going to use for something else, God's going to supply it again with an open hand, right? The money comes in, the money goes out as the Lord wants it
not
to
mine
go.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's something I didn't appreciate whenever we were younger, because there's only two of us. And he worked at Ford and I worked at the pharmacy making decent money. And what do you need to...
Yeah, everything's going great.
Yeah.
Got myself a Ford Fusion and...
Yeah. I'm good
that was
to
a
go.
nice car, by the way, brother. We had matching Ford Escorts when we first got married.
True.
Let's go.
So absolutely.
That's awesome.
This was the sport mode one, though, with the stick. And mine was not.
Oh, I love the 4-cylinder sport mode.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You might get a first gear chirp out of that guy.
That's right. 35 miles a gallon, though, Chris. That's what
true.
I'm talking about.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
That's hot.
What quality in your spouse carried your family through a difficult season?
Quality.
You got one?
You got one? Go for it.
You carried us through losing Mom. I was not even myself.
Thank you.
I can't verbalize any more about that, but
That's all I've got.
Thank you.
I don't know what quality it would be, but if you're giving it a character quality name, it would be Chris's calm and even keel
Medium.
demeanor or spirit about him. It's very calming to me because I can get myself all worked up and
in a tizzy.
in my panties in a bunch, and it's probably one you kids haven't heard forever.
That's
I
awesome.
say those all the time, and I'm shocked
I've
every
heard get your
time.
panties in a wad. That's what I've heard.
But the ability of Chris to keep it even keeled and bring down my emotions or anxiety or whatever, I would say that's a quality or character that carries me lots of times still to this day.
I think I already said mine, but just the faithfulness to say, hey, we're gonna walk this out, even when things are difficult. So I think it's a character quality of Cherith being faithful, but it continues on. We're newbies at a lot of things, even though we've been married for 22 years. So we'll continue to walk it out in faithfulness.
Yeah, I like that. I also like this this question, for our listeners who are playing along at home, appreciating a quality in your spouse when you're in the thick of it, and realizing how that person who's on your team is playing and stepping up to the plate, 3-2 count, bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
And they just hit a home run and take you to that next inning, or get you out of that particular game. It's a good time to reflect on that person that you're saddled up with. And I don't know, I think it's easier to love somebody that you appreciate like that.
Yeah.
Round 3, family roles and raising kids. We've talked about a lot of these. Some of these we'll go through quickly because we've already discussed them. How have your views on the roles of husbands and wives changed over the years? I'd say, I as I was putting this question set together, just reflecting on all the ideologies that are in the political world right now of husbands and wives and men and women, and, not necessarily going the definition of what is a man or a woman, but, I think when you ask a question about roles of husbands and wives, and you suggest, and I load a question that there is a role for a husband, there is a role for a wife, it automatically puts some people on their heels or cautious or whatever. And so I just want to just acknowledge that, but then also just encourage you to answer in a way that works for you. Is that that's the goal here.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily take a super strong political opinion. That's not really what I'm about. I just wanted to talk about what works for me and what works for us. And so, kind of stay in that space, but just acknowledge that what we'll talk through here does apply to the political world.
Sure.
I mean, maybe I didn't even say that, but that's the spirit with which I was approaching it.
Yeah. Now you're going to have to repeat the question because there's a lot between there.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
How have your views on the roles of husbands and wives changed over the years?
So I'll try to answer the question maybe, and to say for us, right? What works? Early on, we decided to say, hey, again, we're new at this. We're not quite as far as long as you guys are, but this is our answer so far. So we got a 16-year-old. Yours are a little bit older than ours.
Just a little bit.
Just realize that, man, we've got a limited amount of time. Even when I think about Sammy, the time clock is ticking. As you guys know, she was 2 years old yesterday. So for us to say, hey, we don't have it all figured out, and we're not the ones that know exactly what to do, but for us to just say, we want as much time with those kiddos as we can. And one of the big reasons why we are involved in homeschooling, and we've got, and I want to throw this out there because people are listening. Lawson got an outstanding public school district here. Just wonderful people. You look at the coaches. I won't name drop everybody. But just look at the coaches, the athletic department, the superintendent, people that are there. Just absolutely wonderful people. Doing great things. So we've just been blessed to be involved in this school as well this year. But for us to just say we want to spend, particularly Cherith, spend as much time with those kids as she can during the day, and be able to sow into them however that looks like through academics or different times. And then I think for us too, for Cherith to encourage me to just be a dad that's involved, really encouraging me to do that. We had an opportunity when I started off in the nurse practitioner role in orthopedics. That was my dream, to be involved in something like that. That guy that was always wanted, the guy that was leaving at 6 o'clock at night, and there was a guy walking in the emergency room that had an injury, and I needed to go back in there. But I quickly realized, and Cherith did as well, that would take my family involvement away big time as a father. So, again, not the only way to do it, right? But Cherith encouraged me, hey, if my kids are going to be involved in, you name it, XYZ, then you're going to be involved in it. You're the one that's going to coach. You're the one that's going to take them to this. If they're going to be, whatever the case might be, you're going to be the one involved in it. So, I think that's the role that we've tried to do, Cherith pushed me to be involved and her to be involved in these guys' life. And I know that sounds, people are probably sitting out there going, yeah, we get it. You know, I mean, be involved. That's what we're doing as well.
I hear you. I don't think I agree with that though. I don't think the average family is involved in that way with their kids. I've just been my experience, and I'd actually wonder, just to probe on that a bit, how many of the parents of the people that you see in your involvement with youth sports are actually coaching.
Yeah.
Like I've in my time, because I coached a lot of baseball and did some soccer and stuff like that. And it was, I don't know, there were some very involved parents for the sake of, I'll go and cheer the kids on, but there's only a handful of folks that I've noted that really coach. So I guess I don't want to just say I agree or disagree. It's your answer.
Making yourself available to coach is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want this to come off as a negative to people, right? But I guess maybe to encouragement. You're talking about encouraging marriages and things like that. I would just encourage you, if you're a father out there, to get involved.
Yeah.
Just intentionally get involved. So, you're looking at a guy. I know people think of this of me. This guy is the president of LYSA. He must know all kinds of things about baseball. You know how much baseball I've played in my life, dude? Now I'm going to embarrass myself. I was a soccer coach for a while. You know how many times I've played soccer in my life? I didn't even know if the ball was round when I went out there, But I just, what I decided to do is whatever those guys are going to do, whatever those guys are going to do, I'm going to be involved in it. And I'm gonna jump in there with them and spend time with them, and sometimes that made me look like a fool, but I had a wife that encouraged me to do that. You know, be involved with those guys, get involved with those guys, be around them, and I think that would be the thing that we've done with our roles. As Cherith has encouraged me to be intentional and be involved, be intentionally involved, not just unintentional.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't know that it is changed my thinking of role of husband, because we both had great role models of parents. I mean, both sets loved the Lord and they loved each other, and they, were great role models. But I think knowing sometimes Chris is pulling 90% and I'm pulling 10%. Sometimes I'm pulling more than him. It's never
it's a
you
tag
do this
team thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Tag, you're it. I'm spent, Sometimes he's up in the middle of the night helping a kid that's sick, and I'm exhausted and I didn't even hear what was happening.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where it's a give and go, give and take. Sometimes you take more, sometimes I do, and
Yeah.
but we're a team.
Carissa has a comment. After you. I'm going to pontificate.
Well, I was too. I might be going in a totally different direction.
Oh, let's see what you have to say.
Well, you talk about the picture of marriage that the Lord gave us in Jesus and the church, and it's a beautiful picture. But as a newlywed, I think that picture was pretty black and white, and the roles were cut and dried, and they were probably all based on what my parents' marriage looked like. And while that picture is right and true and beautiful, there's a lot of wiggle room in there. And the roles that we took, some of them totally outside my expectations and based on what you're good at and what I'm not good at, and just our gifts and who's extroverted and who's introverted and who needs more sleep, like those, and where those lines fell for us were completely custom for us.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I'm hearing a similar thought across all of you, in the sense of it's okay to be egalitarian in your approach to this marriage, right?
Yeah.
As a dad, it's okay to be involved. As a mom, it's okay to be involved in things and do other things and pull more weight. As a husband, if you're good at something, you can do other things. And a wife wants to be involved in these other things, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be this 1950s traditional, women do these things, men do these things, and whatnot. And I think sometimes, like you said, Carissa, the the stereotypical traditional husband and wife roles can kind of get a bad reputation because of the stereotypes, not necessarily the way it's actually lived out in a healthy marriage.
Well, and even like my comparing us to my parents, we're completely different. And, nobody really stepped inside Debbie's kitchen much. That was her space. You don't use it. You don't move things. You don't clean it right. Like that was her space. And we have tried to share that space more. That works for us.
Yeah. I love how much you've grown in this area.
Yeah, I still don't like it when I can't find my things. Or when
She silently hates me in the kitchen. But
No. I have been blessed by some of the things that I enjoy having dinner made for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. Yes.
Right?
But say yes to that one.
But that wasn't even anything biblical. That was just an expectation I had for us that wasn't based on.
Yeah. I've had those.
Yeah.
I think when we had young kids, it was hard for me not to. Comparison game is dangerous. To compare myself to my brother and sister-in-law, Mark and Amanda, you had them. They own Complete Auto. They were on one of your episodes. It was hard. They looked like they had it all together. Like they had the perfect marriage. They made time for dates. They had kids that didn't seem to act up,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And so in my mind, I compared myself to Amanda and that I was probably doing something wrong because my kid was crying or because they didn't mind when I did this or, we didn't do our budget the way they did their budget or, all these different things until my husband was like, we are not Mark and Amanda. We do not have to parent like them. We do not, they're great parents. They're wonderful people. We love them, but we don't have to do the things that they do,
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
And
Don't
you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Totally different, beautiful picture.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Early on, it was easy to compare myself and my parenting or who I was, how I was doing things to someone else,
I love that. Well, and in the spirit of that too, two things can be right at the same time. I've been using that. Mark and Amanda can have great kids, be doing everything right. And you can have great kids and do everything right and do something completely different in the way that you raise them.
Right.
And both are right.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that one person's wrong and the other person is right.
Yeah.
The Lord just has a different path. He does not have us owning an auto shop. Thankfully,
That's awesome.
your car would be in trouble.
Anything to add there, Chris?
No, it's good.
What family value became especially important while raising kids?
Peace.
Carissa says peace and then closes her mouth.
That became, especially as the kids, as they get into like the middle school age where the bickering becomes a thing and then on up through high school. Look, we're just not going to do this all the time. I can't handle it. I'm a Enneagram 9 introvert, came from a non-conflict family. Like you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out and you got to do it without yelling. And that just became a thing. And it never quite went away. It just became a focus. Like, okay, everybody got to, they were getting older. The conflict was different. But that stayed the same. Like, okay, time to figure it out. And thankfully, I feel like that was some hard work that had some fruit. They're enjoying each other now. And I think that had something to do with it. But
Remember the get along shirt?
oh yeah.
I've heard about this get along shirt.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
No, I have not.
You
still
should try it with
threaten
Chris.
Every now and then. Every
Next
now
time
and
we
then I
have
still
it.
threaten the get along shirt.
You guys would probably need
How
it.
big was this
Well,
get along
but
shirt?
here's what
his shirt.
It was for when the kids were little. A get along shirt was when they were arguing to the point there was nothing going to come out of the argument. You take one of dad's shirts, you put both kids in the shirt, both heads, arms, everything sticking out the things. And they have to be in the shirt at the same time together.
For how long? Did you
Long
say
enough
that?
that it doesn't take long, honestly. Actually, just putting the shirt on.
They'd probably giggle and they'd be over.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
happens. They get to the point where they're doing
Or
this.
you have to hug until
Yes.
you're not mad at each other
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But
And
what
that-
was the question?
Well, the question was, how big a shirt would Chris and Cherith need?
What was your question?
Might need an extra large.
We don't own any of
We
those.
put 5 kids in there. Is that okay?
You're
if
not
you do
playing this game right. You need a smaller shirt, bro.
Exactly.
Smaller shirt. Get real close.
that? Okay.
What family value became especially important while raising kids? Carissa's example was peace.
Would you agree?
I think that's a great family value that became important.
Okay.
I agree. I think that's a really good one, and one for our that our family needed.
One of the things that we do, and we're finding this value harder and harder and harder, is just being together. As you
Relationship,
guys know,
yeah.
relationships together. As simple as, I think it's so simple as I say this, but there's going to be some listeners out there that's going to say, dude, that ain't simple. We don't even do that ever. Is sitting down at the table all together and eating together.
Yes.
That's just together, just to say, hey, what'd you do today? What'd you do today, or whatever. So do those things. We like to do things together. Even today, we had a birthday party, right? So several people over to our house, and I kind of made the ultimate decision. It wasn't an argument, but it was a talk between Cherith and I. And Cherith said, I think we should put a couple tables outside because it gets so loud in here and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, we're going to put everybody in here. So we had 20, 25, 26, I don't know, people or something like that. I was like, everybody's going to be in this one room. We're going to start off with everybody in this room. And so I just think it's important to include everybody in the family. So if we go here or there and the kids go, Tia should not go with us, she's not old enough or whatever. I understand there's times for that, right? But for the most part, we say, no, she is going with us. She matters. You get to go too, maybe we should leave you at home. Or whatever the case might be.
Maybe sometimes that's exactly what they want. They want to say, I don't want to go to another basketball game or a track meet or whatever. And I'm like, nope, we're all going. Everybody load up. Bring your snacks.
Yeah.
So being together, and it's more challenging now, as you guys have said. We got a teenage daughter now. She can drive, and she doesn't have to be at home and stuff. But being together is being more challenging. But we want to do that, and we want to continue that. And even as you guys know, in our church, in our life group, we do a life group as well. And there is a challenge there. A lot of times, somebody's like, the kids go, "Dad, can we just go color in the other room?" And I want to say, "Yeah, get out," but I said, "No, nope." Now you're gonna be in here with us because we got value from you. You'll have value from me.
Yep.
Someday you will, I promise.
Yeah.
And just being together does something, and not trying to run them off.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I would say the same kind of thing. Relationship. That's the most important. I think the older I get, the more I value the relationships I have. I don't need a lot of them. I need a relationship with my family, and my kids need a relationship with me and all that. And then I have a handful of really close friends that I know when I need something, all I got to do is call.
Yep. Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you guys we called you and said, hey, you want to come do a podcast tonight?
Yeah. But we need, as you guys know, but maybe it goes without saying, I want to say it though, Cherith and I need relationships. Again, we don't need everybody to be like this, but we need relationships that we can talk to people and quickly get down to things.
Yeah.
So how are you doing? Did you
Below
watch
the
the Royals
surface.
game?
Yeah.
Did you see the Chiefs score?
Yeah.
All this other stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But we need people we can just come in and then they just say, hey, is it raining outside? No. And boom, let's just get to the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
How you really doing?
Yeah. Let's get right down to it.
We had a fight on the way to
we need
going out to dinner
relationships.
tonight. And so,
Yeah, we need people that we can do relationships with that, and we've been blessed to have several people to do that.
Yeah.
Love that. What is one thing you hope your kids learn simply by watching your marriage? I hope, and you actually teed this up about me last night, is I just hope they see that whatever you're doing, whether it's positive, negative, hard, easy, whatever, you can do it and have fun in the process.
Yeah, it's good.
Like literally
It's good.
just
Yeah.
fixing the car, mowing the yard,
Yeah.
doing the job, hanging out you know what I mean? Like whatever you're doing is you can have fun. You know, she talked about Enneagram 9. I'm an Enneagram 7. That's kind of what we do.
I've never taken that.
You should do it. It's super fun. Another date night experience.
There we go.
Ask Nana. She probably already has you pegged.
I was going to have Stephen Chichester on, and he and Danae are very into Enneagram things and whatnot. So I was working to bring this tutelage to the community of practice, and Danae selfishly had a child.
How dare she?
The audacity.
So they were supposed to come on like May 19th or whatever to get one of these scheduled. And anyway, we missed it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but anyway, I just want to have fun. And I feel like you can do
like
anything
that
with
makes
we can do
sense
anything with the right
for
attitude.
anyone that knows you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. All right, have you given you enough time to think?
No, I would ditto what you said. The only thing I would add to it is, you know, we want to, and I think our kids do this as well. Cherith and I doing like a, I wouldn't call it a date night, but a late night opportunity just to read through a book and just talk about it, you know. And one of the first chapters is talking about laughter. You still laugh as much as you used to. You know what? I don't laugh near what I did when I first married this lady.
Yeah.
You know, so you realize, you know, and with the kids as well, right? Am I just being this serious guy sometimes? You know, we got to be serious. We got to go here. We got to do this and everything else. And they lose that sense of fun, like you talked about, Chris.
Yeah.
Laughter, enjoying life where we are. And I hope I can bring that sense back. It kind of pushes a knife in me a little bit when I talk about it, to know that I'm not doing it to the degree I could, right?
Yeah.
But just for them to be able to say that when they sit here 30 years from now, maybe in this same seat, talking to Christopher that's doing the show, then they'd say, "Hey, tell me one thing about your dad." And he said, "Man, I'll tell you what, my dad just loved having fun.
Yeah.
He was laughing all the time or whatever." Or say, you know, guy was pretty strict about doing things or whatever. What would I like to be said about me?
Yeah, let me twist that knife a little deeper. This is one of the things I researched before and did a quick AI overview search. How many times a day does the average adult laugh? Guess. Anyway?
How many
80?
times?
I'm going to do 3.
80? 3? Okay. According to AI, the average adult laughs 15 to 20 times per day.
Oh, that's sad.
It's sad? Or that's a lot?
Doesn't seem like very much.
We agree. So does AI. In contrast, children laugh much more frequently. Estimates show that a healthy child or preschooler laughs around 300 to
I bet.
400 times a day.
Everything is funny to a preschooler.
Yeah, that's good.
But, you know, research attributes this drastic drop in adulthood to daily responsibilities, increased stress,
You
and
don't
more
say.
serious approach to life. But why?
Yeah.
Right? Why? I think that's what you and I are trying to get at, right? Like, we don't have to lose that joy. You don't have to lose all of that for the sake of what? Responsibility?
Yeah.
Like that. It should be something to be joyful about.
Yeah.
Laugh about it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Anything that you'd like to add, Cherith?
I think probably along that same lines. If my kids look back on our relationship, I would love for them to just be like, Mom and Dad really enjoyed each other in all aspects of whether it was hard times or easy times or whatever they were doing. They just enjoyed being with each other, you know, whether they were cooking in the kitchen or doing whatever. I just would like for my kids to see that, you know.
I love that. Did you answer?
No, I was thinking about a common respect for one another.
That's very similar.
Yes, but then we started talking about laughter, and I started thinking about how much we make fun of each other, and especially how much my teenagers make fun of me right now. But there is a line where, and it came back to respect, where you're like, all right, that's enough. That's not funny. But
Yeah, Dr. Seuss wrote a book, Don't Hop on Pop.
Don't hop on pop.
Don't hop on pop.
no, it's hop on
It's
pop.
hop on pop. I was going to say, I've
Yeah.
not read Don't Hop on Pop.
Is it hop on pop?
But Tia and I just read Hop on Pop the other day.
the moral of this story, though,
At
is
the
to
end, maybe there's
treat your
a.
parents
Yes,
with respect.
I think
though,
there
right?
is at the end.
Is
Yeah.
there, I'm not sure there's a moral at all, but
It's Dr. Seuss. It doesn't make much
Yeah.
sense. It's just rhyming words.
I think you've been saying "don't hop on pop" for
You're right.
so long that
You're right. You're probably right. I think the community of literary practice might suggest that there are morals to Dr. Seuss books, but we'll just leave that in the ether. We'll let our listeners make that judgment. What is the one? What tension in marriage did you eventually learn to manage instead of solve? What tension did you learn to manage instead of solve?
Can you give an example?
I will say that I have learned a lot about keeping my mouth shut over time.
Really?
It's better to just have peace than to just open my mouth and talk about my opinion. I don't need to have everything go my way all the time. I don't need to opine over this thing or that. Just shut your mouth, man.
So you don't say anything and you live in the tension instead of.
No, man. I think I'm seeing the question is what tension in marriage did you eventually learn to manage instead of solving? Right. So the tension would be, I walk in and exact my will, or I share my opinion, thinking that's going to be the thing that helps us out here. In reality, I don't need to do that. This is going to get solved one way or another. I can just chill the fun out and laugh and make my way through it. And of course, right? Did it just now with the Dr. Seuss quote. We'll see.
There's a lot of Dr. Seuss going on here today.
But I think that's an example. So
I would say any of these things I'm talking about here, I'm growing at, right? I haven't mastered any of this stuff yet. So if somebody's listening and say, oh, Chris got this figured out. I don't have it. I'm just growing in it. So one of the things that I've learned or trying to learn more of, intentions, opportunities. So Cherith, it's usually late at night. And sometimes during the day, there'll be a text or something. And but mainly late at night, she said, hey, here's the problem that we have here, XYZ. This child isn't paying attention. This child didn't get their homework done. This child did this, that, or whatever. And I instantly become a problem solver. Like right now, if the kid's in bed, I'll just go wake him up right now and grab something, And so I'm learning more. That's not even really what she's saying. She's not even saying, hey, I couldn't figure out how to discipline this kid. That's not what she's saying. She's saying just, hey, listen to me with my problem. So for me to just sit there and go, but I'm not good at that, right? Because it's just saying, hey, the chain off the bike fell off and it's sitting right in the garage. Well, why don't we just go put it on? You know what I mean? I know how to put on a chain. And she's not even saying that, So for me, just to let the tension go and just say, hey, I don't have to solve anything. She's not asking me to solve it. She's just telling me this is what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And what are your thoughts on it versus just go solve it right now?
She's reviewing her day,
talking through it.
Yeah, I just want somebody to listen.
verbally processing, if you will.
Other thoughts? We can move on if you're
Read the
ready.
question one more time.
What tension in marriage did you eventually learn to manage instead of solve? Just tension. Not suggesting it's an argument or anything.
I don't know. I was just thinking, I don't know if what I was thinking applies really. I guess it kind of goes along with what you were saying about not weighing in, but it has more to do with timing.
That's a secret to a good joke. That's a secret to a good joke. Timing.
that sometimes it's the secret to a good marriage.
That's true.
Just the timing.
What do you mean?
Oh, I need to talk to him about this, but I do not need to talk about this right now.
Yeah,
At
good.
the moment. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Good.
true.
Good.
Yeah.
That happened the
You
other
know.
day. I was working on the car and it wasn't going very well. Hashtag complete auto enrichment. And she comes out and she's in like this, I don't know, what were you wearing? Like the,
I don't know.
it was like a very like nice linen-y pantsuit set thing. It was very nice. You look beautiful.
My linen pants that feel like pajamas. So
Yeah,
I love
something
them.
like that.
From Costco.
Yeah. So she comes out and she's all bubbly and happy, and I have like that bead of sweat that's like going down my
Was
bald
the
head,
vein?
down the nose, and yeah,
What's the name of the vein?
Dale.
Dale.
My kids have named a
Was
vein.
Dale
on my-
out?
Yeah. No. But she's like trying to talk to me, and I'm like trying to get this spark plug in and
Lost a bolt.
lost a bolt, and I am about ready to tear the car apart. And she starts to help me look for the bolt, which is very nice, but limited by her pants and the outfit. And then I got curt. It wasn't with her, but it was literally just like, I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I can't manage the situation, I can't find the bolt. And I watched her make that decision about time to go. I'm gonna step in the house and I'll come back later. She came back later
about this later.
and she brought me a drink when she came back and a kiss, and it was okay. Like,
Yeah, good.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
fine. So,
Yeah.
Timing. That's great.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm learning that sometimes the exact same thing. When Chris walks in from work, he doesn't need to hear how I'm frustrated, even though I'm very frustrated with something that has happened during the day or whatever. Sometimes I just need to look at him and let him know that I'm excited that he's home, not because he needs to problem solve something or discipline a child, just because
He's home.
he's home. And this is what it used to be whenever before we had kids and we were newly married, and you stepped into the room and the room was
Lit up.
immediately better. And you know, that does not need to be the first thing. That needs to be the first thing, not the frowny, cranky wife.
negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did everybody answer that? I think so.
I think so.
Round 4. This is our last round.
Oh,
There might be a bonus or two.
It's deceptive.
exactly.
What small daily habit helped your marriage to stay healthy? And I put this in there because in a couple of different episodes, again, reflecting on the canning episode that was echoed by Mark and Amanda, who have the perfect marriage history we've established.
You should reference his tribute to his wife when they hit 25 years.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
I will talk about that in just a moment.
Sorry,
No, it's good. I will.
I stole your thunder.
No. What small daily habit has helped your marriage to stay healthy? Reflecting upon the daily delay, weekly withdrawal, and annual abandon. This book that was recommended to us, which we haven't read just yet, but that's one of the primary takeaways. Take a moment every day to check in with your spouse. It can be a few minutes. It can be, like you said, the look or whatever that encourages the person. They're glad they're home. Weekly withdrawal. Just step away for a date. Date doesn't have to be going out to Chili's and getting yourself a Applebee's on a late night with a Bourbon Street steak and an
Applebee's?
Oreo shake,
Okay.
whipped cream on the top too.
What is that song?
Yes.
2 straws, 1 glass, girl, I got you. Bougie like day, nah.
That one.
Yeah, it's solid.
I thought you were
Applebee's
referencing
on a
that
date
from the
night.
beginning.
No, my gosh.
Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
It's so good. It's like redneck as all get
Oh,
out, but
gosh,
it's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, so there's that, and then you don't have to do that. A date can be, as Mark and Amanda I think gave us an example. The date can be a chill out on the back porch, and you talked about Chris earlier in this episode as it can be a book, a late night experience with a book. You read through it, you talk through it, and have that time together. You want to do that weekly.
Yeah.
You want to do that regularly, and then annually get away, get some time. So we'll come back to the question: what small daily habit has helped your marriage stay healthy?
I think when we were first married, Chris was working nights at the Ford plant. I was working days. So we were crossing paths, you know. He was coming to bed at 5. Yes.
Yeah.
He was coming to bed at 5 a.m. and I was getting up at 5 a.m. and we were
Two sparrows in a hurricane. Lori Morgan.
I know.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. Just the simple things, like I would leave a note for him on his lunchbox for when he went to work, and he would do the same. So when I would pack up my lunch to go to work, there was always a note on it. Now these days we don't always write a note and stick it on lunch. A lot of times someone brings lunch to Chris, so he doesn't even take lunch. But even just a text during the day to say, hey, you know, I appreciate you. I see what you're doing. I know you're tired, or I know you got a lot going on. You know, just those things that times during the day to connect even just that way, you know, because we know by the time we hit the bed at night, we're out, you know. So what would you say, babe?
I would say it's difficult, right? Again, none of these things have we mastered, but we're trying. I think a recent friend, a pastor of mine that I talked to, he said, you know, you can appreciate a lot of people, but gratefulness is shown in when you express it to somebody. So I think that's what you're saying, is that gratefulness to say to somebody, hey, I appreciate you. Do I do it every day? No. I think opportunities, we did had more of a structure when we were young. Then our paths would cross. One of the things we'd do in the mornings, we'd always read a Bible verse or something together and pray. Now we do that, but we don't do it together as much. But an opportunity for us to be on the same book every day, so to speak. Maybe not the same page or the same chapter or whatever the case might be. We're still going toward a goal. And we share that with each other from time to time. But yeah, it's difficult. And even I think Cherith said before that, you know, we'd love to do a date night every week, right? It sounds great. And we've started that and finished that within a month many times, you know, over and over again.
It's real easy to get down on yourself and give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but some progress is better than no progress, right?
Right.
To be able to do that. So yeah, and one of the things we've changed, I did education every year, someplace in the United States, you know, and as our kids have got a little bit older, now Cherith has been able to travel with me to do that, you know. So that's a thing where you just think, well, gosh, Chris, how can that be great? Well, it gives Cherith 4 or 5 days away with not even me for 8 hours, just for her by herself. And she just says, guess what?
And a good book.
Yeah. So I come back to the hotel and I'm like, what have you done all day? And she goes, I've been reading a book all day. Like, that's it. Been reading a book, you know? And so when's the last time you did that? A year ago, actually. You know, so to get away on those kind of things, just to do a reset, has been good for us as well. Not daily, but looking forward to that yearly.
That's brilliant. You have anything you want to contribute, my lovely?
Well, I want to second what Chris was saying about
Second that emotion.
the you two with the music lyrics. You can't even have a conversation.
I'm gonna start singing. You throw the lyric out. I'll just sing it.
That's a whole nother podcast. I can be having full on grumbly feelings and thoughts, and if you say thank you, they're gone. So I just second that as what a good practice.
Yeah.
But I was I was thinking praying. It's been different times of the day throughout our marriage, but I think it's been so important.
Yeah.
And you know, so many times you or I would pray about something that the other one didn't even, like, we haven't mentioned, haven't had a chance to talk about, and suddenly we're giving it to the Lord, and I know what's going on in your heart or your mind, and that And I certainly think that has something to do with whatever foundation has been built.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And as we are with so many things in our lives, you're right here on the same page with me. And the next question, what spiritual discipline, prayer, or practice has strengthened your marriage the most? You know, we talk about reading. Chris, your example was that. Yours was prayer. My love. Spiritual discipline, prayer, or practice that strengthened your marriage the most. Have we answered that question?
Chris is always very good about leading us in prayer before we go to bed with, whatever. Stop. There's so many things going on during the day, and you're both in bed, and slow down and pray about, whatever. And I feel like we've gotten better about, we're on our way somewhere. All right, let's just pray about whatever's going on,
Yeah.
I think that's it kind of refocuses you. All right, I'm all in a dither.
Yeah.
Can you say dither?
Yeah.
I do like that.
Did the-
Wadded up.
Yeah.
About whatever situation, or we don't know what to do about this, or we're just not even that, just stopping and refocusing on the Lord,
We were at this has been years ago, we're at a church opportunity, right? A guy comes named Brother Rod. He's from Louisiana, a long ways away.
Louisiana.
Yeah, him and his wife, older couple. And I just remember him, he would preach, and literally in the middle of his preaching, he would stop. He'd look out in the crowd and be looking at a guy, just staring the guy down. Just walk right out there to him, say, "Hey man, stand up." And he'd say, "Is this your wife here? Stand up," And I remember him walking out to a young guy, maybe not married very long, didn't know him at all or anything like that. And just simple things like Cherith was talking about, praying with somebody. And the guy stood up, young guy, and the wife was there. And Brother Rod was just looking him in the eyes and said, "You pray with your wife?" And he said, "Tell me the truth." And the guy said, "No, I don't. And he goes, "I want you to do me a favor. Would you do me a favor?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I want you to go home tonight. This is day one. Just want you to pray with her. Nothing fancy or anything like that. I just want you to pray with her and just do it every night." And I just thought, man, what a mind-blowing thing, right? I mean, so there might be people listening on here that are unbelievable Christian people, right? And I would challenge, do you pray with your wife? And just to spend that moment in a spiritual aspect, to just do that. Nothing fancy, nothing unbelievable or anything, but you two having a conversation with somebody else that's going to do something for you. So I just think that's what I would say. Just something simple that we overlook. I'm thinking of something really big and unbelievable for you. Yeah, you're going to be like, man, let me write this down real quick.
Yeah.
And I just think, just something simple like that. Would you take time to do it?
It's great for the connection, though.
Yeah,
connection with
absolutely.
God and one another.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think so many things, I've felt this a lot lately, whether it's your walk with the Lord or your walk with each other or with your children, we make it so complicated. I mean, there's so many books about what you should do and what you shouldn't do and when you should do that just do the simple things. Just do the simple things. We make it too complicated, and then it gets overwhelming.
What is something couples rarely talk about that actually matters a lot in long marriages? I think at 20 plus years, we've reached the definition of long marriage.
Yeah.
So
Did you say this is a PG-13?
let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
One of the challenging things that we've, so we look at our parents, right? And we say, man, they've done a great job. But is there anything they've missed? Now they're listening right now to the podcast and they're leaning in. My dad's turning up the volume right now. I can hear him. Turn up the volume back. I got to hear this, And I think one of the things that Cherith and I both agreed on as we talked about thing is as strange as it might sound, is the word sex. So we could be off by this, but I think we're close. We would say, hey, one of the things we want to do well with our kids is we want them to hear from us what the definition of sex is out of a biblical model, and then walk them through that. And I don't think that conversation was taking place at our home. At least I don't remember it anyway. If it did,
Growing up, you mean?
Yeah, growing up. Yeah, growing up. And I'm not talking about a 30-second birds and bees type thing.
Sure.
But an opportunity. So Cherith was very active about that. We talked about it, and then she took an action to do it and said, "Hey, I bought a 4-book series, super simple. And when the kids 5 to 7, this is what we're going to read. When they're 7 to 9, we're going to read this, whatever." So she walked Sammy through that and everything. So in turn, that opens up a conversation for us, right? To be able to talk about that openly. You know, we're not 25 anymore, by the way. You know, we're not 35 anymore. You know, so things change in life. So to be able to talk about that openly and say, "Hey, this is how I feel. These are things that are going on with me." You know, and there's probably some listeners out there that are saying, "Hey, my spouse is 45, 50, whatever the case might be. Things have changed now, you know, and we got to be open about it and be having a conversation about it." That at 25 we wasn't having that conversation, and be able to go on and pass that on to our kids and say, "Hey, we can talk about this and these aspects. And by the way, I want you to hear it from me versus somebody in the locker room."
Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Other thoughts?
What was the exact question?
What's something couples rarely
How many
talk
times have I
about?
said that?
That?
With you.
Oh, how many times? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. What's something couples rarely talk about that actually matters a lot in long marriages?
And that's one of the big ones, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I would also suggest that something long marriages have that others don't is that long marriages, I think people don't stop talking. Like,
Fair.
and some people I've seen and you know, maybe I got it wrong, but I've seen people who, excuse me, who have been married for a long time who don't like their spouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They love them, but they don't like them.
There's a difference between marriage and just
Or happily married
Yeah.
and married. And so I would maybe offer that happily married couples who've been married a long time don't stop talking. And despite the topic, right? You talked about sex, right? It could be sex, it could be health, it could be money, it could be,
sure.
but I mean, it goes to hopes and dreams, you know, like where do you see us going? You know, hey, we're in this 25 years. We got another 25 in us, hopefully.
Yeah.
Your
What do you want
parents,
to do?
Chris, have been married 52, 3 years now, 4.
My parents just celebrated 58.
Let's
58,
go.
yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they keep talking, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just think it's important to keep talking.
Yeah. I agree.
I would say that lends itself well to continuing to have fun together.
Yeah. I was going to say.
And I think the daily delay, weekly, whatever that is, and
Withdrawal.
annual abandon, I think those are we take yearly trips. And I just think that's a good reminder that, you know, the kids are going to grow up, the kids are going to leave,
Yeah.
and we'll still be here and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting mathematical way of looking at kids in the home. If the average person lives to, what is the average age, Chris? You're the medical person and professional in the house.
70s.
70s.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay. Let's say they live 75 years and the average child is in the home 25 years? Round
Maybe.
number?
Maybe.
I was going to say
Maybe.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. 20 years? Say 20 years. I was going to say 25 because it's 33%, right? So, but
Use whatever number.
I don't know.
you
Yeah.
need to.
It's somewhere less than 30% of the time
Yeah.
you're going to have kids in your home. That means 70% of your life, you're not going to
You're
have
not
kids
gonna
in
have
your
kids.
home.
Yeah.
You didn't have
Yeah.
them when you were growing up before you had them, and then you're not going to have them afterwards. And that, you know, that's a mistake to assume that your marriage is all about your children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, many of our dates, when the children were small, we'd get about 45 minutes into the date, and I would kind of wake up and be like, "Oh, right, you're here, and I kind of like you.
I still like
and
you.
This
I
is
still
exactly.
like
I
you.
enjoy spending time with you.
I forgot
But
you were.
There was a transition period where my brain switched over to I'm not just a mom.
Yeah.
I think that was good at the time and good now.
Yeah.
What still makes a covenant marriage worth fighting for after all these years?
I would argue that they're worth more. I'd fight harder for it the longer time goes on.
Yeah.
Again, reference Mark's tribute to his wife on Facebook.
Yeah, we never came back to that.
Yeah.
You told me about
Yeah,
that.
let me see if I can find it really quick. We'll just read it together.
That was really
Let me
good.
throw my 2 cents in, and then if I can,
Yeah.
Chris, while you're looking, there's a lady that is older that we've spent some time with, and so she was married, and her husband passed away from cancer. And fast forward a few years, and then was married again. Her husband passed away from cancer, so she has some years on herself.
Are you talking about Mrs. Lamb?
Mm-hmm.
She's been on the podcast too.
Yeah. So
She's wonderful.
just being around people that have wisdom like that for me, and surrounding myself with people that have some wisdom, biblical wisdom that values marriage. You know what I mean? That's where I want to be, around people. So that covenant marriage, I'm that guy that whatever I do, I want to be the best at. You know, I want people to say, whether they do or not, I want people to say what Chris does is really good. The medical practice he runs, really good. He does a great job. Whatever he's in charge of, you know, I could go on, church, sports, whatever. He does a great job.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be. So why would I get into a marriage and just say, you know, I just want to, you know, later on, Cherith wants, you know, when she's older, she'll be like, you know, yeah, your dad did a good job. I mean, it's okay, I guess, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's a challenge to me in my mind. I don't want to be that guy. I don't, and my wife would never say that, right? My wife would never come out and admit that. So I don't want to be that person. I want her to be like, man, I'm glad I'm married to this guy. She doesn't feel that way every day, I guarantee you, because marriage is not feelings, right?
Yeah.
But I want to be that. I want her to be able to talk to Samantha someday or whoever it is and say, man, I love being married to your dad. I'll use an example personally. My grandmother, which is on my father's side, I know that this conversation took place a few days after my grandpa died. And my grandmother said to my father, you know, just about 25 days in, I realized I married the wrong person and I made a mistake. So my grandfather was an alcoholic, and she didn't realize that. But she made a choice to say, hey, this is a covenant, and I made a promise, and I'm going to walk it out. So I respect my grandma unbelievably because I know the story she walked through to do that. But at the same time, when my dad told me that, I just thought, wow, how sad for my grandpa to be this man that had a chance to be this great man, and his wife to say, did a great job. She never said that to anybody, by the way, while he was alive, but said that to my father later on in private, not in front of public or anything like that. Didn't bash him or anything like that, but said, I realized I made a mistake. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to be that guy that out of anybody that says anything, if somebody says, hey, the medical practice, Chris's is not the best, that's okay. I'll take a 4.5 star rating.
Yeah.
Hey, this is not running great or whatever, but I don't want to get to the end of my day and my wife say, I'll give him a 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Completely agree.
That's a covenant wedding.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think because a marriage is to reflect Christ and the church, that's worth fighting for, you know? I want our marriage to people to see that and see, I don't know what they have, but that is what I want. You know, I think that is worth fighting tooth and nail for, you know, no matter the hard times, no matter what, you know.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
So I found this post, and sorry, Mark, but I don't know. Is it public? I'm not sure if it's public or not. People who don't know this or not.
I've seen it. I think it's good.
It is good. In late 2000, I was on a trip. Excuse me, I'll start over. I was on a trip with my family to South Africa. And I was in a country that I loved with people that I love, visiting people that I loved. Yet I was miserable because the one person that I loved was not there. Amanda and I had dated for nearly 3 years, and I had been on many trips far away from her. But this was different. It was a moment of clarity when I knew that I did not want to go through life without this woman at my side. Walking down the road on my cousin's farm, I told my parents my plan to ask Amanda to marry me when I got home, and they gave their blessing. I did just that. And 25 years ago today, we said, I do. Brad Paisley has a song, Then, where he sings of the depth of love that grows over time. Like the river meets the sea, stronger than we've ever been. It's been so long since that day, and I thought I loved you then. You didn't sing it, Cherith.
And I thought I loved you then.
Right? There's been a lot of life happening since that day 25 years ago, and my love, desire, and need for her has grown to a depth my 22-year-old self wouldn't have been able to fathom. Ironically, it came as we got to know each other more, sharing not only experiences, but deep hurts and fears, things you don't want anyone else to know about you. But I learned she could be trusted with it, and our relationship got even closer. I pray that in 25 more years, I'll look back on today in awe of God's gift of marriage to Amanda Guy, shake my head and think, and I thought I loved you then. Happy anniversary, Amanda.
That's good.
Isn't that great?
That's good.
It's poetic. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
And let me add to it, Chris.
That's the stuff, man.
What we're talking about. Let me add to that too. As a brother to my sister, and that the one you're reading is my brother-in-law Mark, right?
Yeah.
I can think of anything.
Let's talk about that situation.
Let me say
yeah.
this.
The siblings marrying each other.
Siblings.
Yeah.
We
didn't
don't
talk
want
about that.
No, everybody's listening now. so, yeah.
Perfectly legal, I promise.
But as I hear you read that, and I want the best. I want the best for my sister. I want the best for my siblings. I love those guys to death,
Right.
So all the things I can think of for my sister and her family and being married and everything else, money, fame, you go on and on and on and on. I'll take that right there any day over it.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah.
Of a guy that says, "Hey, this is what it is about," and I'm proud of that. Proud of them.
I love that. Last question for round 4. What dream, adventure, or season are you still hoping to pursue together? And again, stop the tape.
Dream.
Do this with your spouse. What dream, adventure, or season are you still hoping to pursue together?
Man, it's an open book. I'm just enjoying the ride, and I don't have because all the things that I said I would probably be like this or that is already gone.
Yeah.
Which is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The desires of my heart is what the Bible says. God's going to give me the desires of my heart, but I think it's my desires are starting to be more like His desires, maybe. So I think we're just enjoying the ride, and whatever that next step is going to be fun. We're having fun now. We're loving it. We're enjoying it. But what's the next step? I don't know. I don't know what that dream is, other than just what I'm in. That's what my dream is. I'm enjoying it. People say living the dream, whatever,
Yeah.
And I truly mean that. I'm not saying that just sarcastically like people say.
Most of the time people say, living the dream.
Living the dream.
More like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, looks like a great dream.
Yeah.
I want your
I'm enjoying
dream.
it,
Thanks
brother.
a lot.
It's great,
Yeah.
God's got good stuff, so I'm enjoying it, whatever He's got for me.
That's awesome. Cherith, babe, anything?
What do you think, Carissa?
What was the question?
What dream, adventure, or season are you still hoping to pursue together? One that we kind of discussed last night was the kind of biblical references, like arrows in the hand of an archer, or children, blessed man, his quiver's full. We start thinking about kids and kids having kids, and your legacy and arrows that carry that analogy forward. Kids are the arrows you fire into the future that you can't see.
Sure.
The opportunity to invest and grow and experience those relationships. That's something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
But I was also doing some research on how to invest for like legacy type stuff. You know, like if you want to, the wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And I started doing some financial calculations. And I share this with grandparents out there, particularly Christian grandparents who want to honor the Lord, honor their kids, and honor their grandkids and their legacy, and have an inheritance for their children's children. If you invest $10,000 in a grandchild at their birth, and it's a lot of money. So, you know, not everybody's going to have the ability to do that or whatever. You have to run the numbers or whatever. If you invest $10,000 in a grandchild at their birth, and you put that in a Roth IRA in their name or a 529 or whatever, and you don't touch it ever again, and that does 10% per year at the age of 62, that's worth over $4 million.
Oh, man.
Just the financial compounding of interest, right? At 5,000, it's over $1 million. It's like 1.4 million. So, and it just depends on how you look at if it's 8% per year or 10% per year, right? So, you know, I'm just thinking about ways to legacy build, you know, and really, you know, extrapolate and find ways to just bless the pants off of the future generation. Yeah. So, anyway, a little bit of a detour there. But
No, that's good. And you're doing it right now anyway, right? Not necessarily maybe financially.
I don't have $10,000 for a grandchild, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I know.
You also don't have a grandchild, so you don't have to worry about it.
But I appreciate that. I appreciate the. I appreciate the analogy.
College right now.
Yeah.
I appreciate the analogy, and I'm definitely not against it. But I think if I could throw something in there too, and I think you'll agree with me, you're not deviating from it. But if each grandma and grandpa read 2 Bible verses a night, to you know, so on and so forth, you know, so I think the financial thing is wonderful as well.
Yeah, it was a yes and right.
Absolutely,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got more patience for my niece and nephew at age 2 than I ever did for my own kids at age 2. And so I can't imagine how soft my heart's going to be for a grandchild.
And that's awesome. And you're sowing into these cousins of yours and stuff like that you're speaking into them that nobody else can, right?
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
You are. You are.
And ultimately, what you're talking about is investing time in people.
Yeah.
Spending time together.
Yeah. I think that's what I see that we do now and look forward to in the future as my children get older is the ability to take trips, investing in them and being able to take trips. We take trips with my parents, and we've taken trips with my family, and we take trips every year or every other year, at least with Chris's family, and his whole family goes, and it's just so fun. It's just we all enjoy each other, and that seems so rare that you have a family that enjoys every single one of. And we're not all the same. We don't do everything the same, but we just enjoy time with each other. We spend a week at the beach or in Colorado or, you know.
From the outside in, your family trips they're beautiful too. And you seem to have figured out how to all go together and all spend time together, but have your separate spaces and times and.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
I ask lots of questions. I want to learn.
All right, bonus. Got 5, but we don't need to go through all of them. There's 2 that are really burning in my mind. What older couple inspired your marriages when you were younger? And you can't say the people who sent you to the thing. You've already used that example.
It's got to be a new one.
Yeah.
What older couple.
Lots of them, man.
You know, inspired your marriage when you were younger, and why?
You have to give an example.
So we've been blessed to have those people, and we've looked at those people to say, hey, we wanna be something there. I'd say one for us, Cherith, would be Patty and Everett Thompson. So they owned both of them pharmacists, owned a pharmacy in Richmond, they hired Cherith at a young age and walked through that. And Everett was big on character qualities, and not just talking about them.
Yeah.
I mean, big on them. He would, they'd have an annual Christmas party, whatever the case might be. And there would be an envelope in there, and it would have a character quality that he saw in Cherith. And it would have finances in there. Not $5, by the way, either. Like big finances. And he would recognize that in people, and he would point that out, things like that. So he was building into me. I'm a character guy now. I like to point out the character to the people,
Yeah,
and
we
so on and
talked
so
about
forth.
that.
So they were big on doing that with us and walking that. And they were people that pushed my buttons sometimes, and you need people like that. So Everett would come to me and challenge me on things in a way where I could get mad and walk away. But he challenged. He saw weaknesses in me and said, "Hey, this is a weakness you have. You need to work on it." And so that built me up to be somebody that I didn't see. I didn't see that weakness in me. So I think you need people around you like that. People that can give you some hard stuff. And I know there were times when they would talk to Cherith and point out things as well. Hey, here's a character flaw that you have, and you need to work on it. And that was inspiring for us. At the time, it wasn't.
I was going to say, it sounds tough too.
Yeah. Iron sharpening iron, man. That's what it's about. You have somebody, Cherith, in mind?
I think growing up, gosh, we had so many amazing couples in our church that were older. But Mrs. Lyon and her husband,
Lester Testrake Heiser.
I never knew Heiser. I never knew her when she was married to her very first husband. When I was young, she was married to Mr. Testrake, so she was Mrs. Testrake. And then she married Mr. Lyon, and she was always so supportive of her husband.
Yeah. Dear lady.
Yes,
She's awesome.
She's amazing. And so just growing up, seeing those marriages, and then her last husband, Mr. Lyon, was just he remind me of him. Just like he can get to be, when it's time to be no nonsense, he can get that, but he just loved life and he was fun. And, just seeing those marriages was inspiring. So it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got one?
I would have said John and Becky.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
We
They've
can't
been
use that one because we
very-
already used that.
That's right. You can.
We
We
can say
can.
my parents.
We can.
Yes.
They've been very encouraging to us
Yeah.
in many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are the, just thinking quickly. John came alongside me to talk about business things and lots of things, just recognize and invest. And Becky, when Carissa lost her mom, would go for walks and things like that. And kind of this de facto, I don't know, maternal type, not really trying to replace mom, but just there and have that same sort of motherly love and
They're listen.
invest.
But we've had conversations where we just have kind of identified, like watching them invest in their family and watching them, what's the word I want? Steward their family and in an obedient biblical way. Just like, I want that. I want to do that. I want to encourage that way. I want to grow up that way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was actually going from my perspective a little earlier in our career, our marital career. It's awkward. Yeah, I got promoted. No. Bob and Charla Vogelaar and
the Binkleys.
the
I was
Brady
thinking
and
about the
Sharon
Binkleys.
Binkley. We were newly married in a small group in a church.
Intergenerational small group.
Intergenerational small
Beautiful.
group.
It was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We were the youngest ones in it too.
That's why they call it intergenerational. And we were like 20-nothing years old, and everybody in there was 50 plus or mid to late 40s plus.
Yeah.
And so there was this huge gap, and
Learned a lot.
they loved us, on us, and they were like spiritual. I call them
Shepherded us.
just power couples, you know.
Nice.
just know their Bible, pray over us, encourage us. When we ultimately decided to move to Lawson, they threw us a house party and all bought us stuff and just sent us off prayerfully and super encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the couple you're talking about, you can let me know. I know John and Becky, obviously, and Mrs. Lyon, and I was talking about the Thompsons, but a theme that I see in all these people is people that allowed you to come into their life.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fold all the laundry and make sure the house was all neat before you walked in. They just let you into the mess.
Yeah.
And I think that was the great thing that we've seen with these couples as well. Just to be vulnerable. And when I was with the Thompsons, spending time with them, they would say, they would sharpen some iron, and then they would say, "Hey, could we tell you something we're really struggling with?" And I'm like, "What? What are you struggling with? I mean, like, why would you tell me?"
Yeah.
But I just think being vulnerable with people and being open and being messy with people lets you know that, hey, these guys don't got it all together, but they're encouraging me, and they see the flaws that they made when they were 25, 30, 35, and they say, "Hey, man, don't walk this road.
Yeah.
Don't walk this road. I've been there before. Don't do it." So that's special stuff.
Or do it. Well,
Yeah, go for it.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah,
You're showing
yeah,
up. You're coming to
exactly.
these things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. It's 2 questions, but I'll make it one. What kind of older couple do you hope to become for younger marriages? And kind of sort of coupling that, if a newly engaged couple asked for one piece of honest wisdom, what would you tell them? And again, having you guys on the podcast, right? Carissa and I offer, if you have a question about marriage and you want to reach out, I'd love to chat with you, son-in-law podcast at gmail.com. Like, it's a good way to reach out if you're interested. But these sorts of things help us reflect on who we want to be for someone else. And so what did that look like for you? And what advice would you give that young couple?
What older couple would you say?
What kind of older couple do you hope to become for younger marriages?
What kind of older couple?
I think is one of the things I see in some older couples that we really enjoy being around, and maybe we're starting to be a little bit this way too, is just people that are people full of grace. So I realize, it'd be great if everybody had a dad. It'd be great if everybody had a mom. It'd be great if nobody's mom passed away. It'd be awesome. But not everybody's like that. So I think just for me, starting off doing some mentorship, as Cherith and I have been able to do with younger couples, just having some grace with them, just to listen to their story, because their story isn't like ours. And some people come and they've got these things that you're just like, man, just it's unbelievable the way you are right now, how much you've survived. So us to be able to have, as we grow older, just to have grace for people, and hear people's story, and maybe not to point out all the things that we say, look at this, look at that, whatever. So I think we're growing in that as we fail over and over again as parents and feel like, hey, could somebody show us a little grace here, too. So I think that's one of the things that we want to do as an older couple, is have some grace. And, I don't know the one thing I would tell somebody, but, there's so many things. I got 12 if you've got an hour and a half left.
Yeah.
So I won't do that, but it's just a challenge. I know, because everybody's situation is different. I just can't put that, I can't put that one thing into it. Yeah. I would love to tell everybody, for us, that opportunity for us to have something to go back to say, this is the truth. I know Cherith's feelings. I know my feelings. I know the way I feel, the way that I look. Probably things are going to be in 5 years or 2 years, and now it's been shattered or whatever. We just needed something to go back to and say, hey, no matter how we're feeling, this is the truth. And, for us, that was the Bible, the Word of God. And that's what I would encourage young people. And as we've been able to mentor some couples before they got married, that's not the most popular thing for people to hear. But we wanted to be truthful and transparent with people to say, hey, this is the one thing we've found so far. that is a truth that's never changed. That's the only thing that we've really found. So we encourage you to be involved in it, and not going to push it down your throat or anything like that. But hopefully somebody listened.
Yeah. Love that.
I think I want to be the couple that has an open door, always available and willing to listen to come in and not judge, but really get down to the root of things, not be superficial. I don't want to be a superficial, oh, things are great. And I want to be open and honest and welcoming and always have my door open so that if you're struggling, your marriage is struggling, you're struggling with something, you can come and talk to us and know that we're going to listen. And if you want advice or help, great, but I'm not going to give it. I'm just here for support. You know, I want to be that open door that will sit down with you and we make time for that relationship.
Because that's what's most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say that with my kids too. I want your friends to want to come to the house and spend time and know that it's a safe place. I think that's maybe more of a open door policy, but I want people to feel that our home is a safe place and their marriage is a safe place within our marriage, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's trust.
Yeah.
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 You have anything you want to add?
I just see a theme around the table here. The amount of support that both of us, all of us, have received, and the support and the not just family, not just the church, but and I remember, you know, sitting down with one of those intergenerational couples and thinking, you know, thinking they don't understand. They don't understand how far apart Chris and I are on this thing, like how tough this disagreement is, or how hard a time we're having communicating about this. And I look back on that and I'm like, no, they got it. Yeah. They understood. And and I want to be on the other end of that, you know.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. Yeah. Open door.
Yeah.
And
well, I love
open
it.
mind.
I love it. Yeah. I think you're on the way.
Yeah.
You do a nice job.
You do a nice job.
You too, Weirs. Proud of you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I think we'll leave it there. Is there anything that you haven't said that you want to say? Just while last opportunity here before I close it up officially.
It gets better.
Yeah. A lot of aspects.
Yeah.
Get better.
PG-13.
To be PG-13 or not. It gets better.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
One or both of you hopefully learn and figure a few things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some rough edges get knocked off.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Chris, anything?
I'm good. Appreciate you having us on this. What is this going to be called? Like a surprise? The surprise 101 or something like that?
Tell the listeners your idea. I like it.
So I
need to be ready for this.
Yeah. So I said to you, you called us and or text us and said, hey, can you guys come over and do a podcast? And we need to do something pretty quick if you're available. So I think about an hour time frame before we come over.
Yeah,
So I think in the future you should have another one of these podcasts. So what you would do is you would reach out to someone and say, you have 1 hour. I just put the clock on go to be over to my house. We're going to do a podcast. No questions answered, no topic, no nothing. You just got to come sit down in the hot seat and go for it.
I like that. And I need to have
spontaneous.
I need to have some spontaneous friends that are on deck and ready to go. So if that's you, let me know.
There's no prompter to read here or anything like that. No prompter to read.
But again, to that point, and again, I think this is I think it's been an awesome conversation, first of all. So thank you for coming. But I was trying to do something similar this morning with 3 guys, dads in their early 30s, kind of raising families and things of that nature, and unscripted.
Yeah.
Show up. Let's do an interview, right? And the answers that you get demonstrate the discipline that is going on in the household, in the family. You know, you don't just show up on a opportunity like this and you can't fake this. You know what I mean? These answers are baked into who you are. Just like the questions I had for them, you know, talk about how they raise their families, the things that they're passionate about, the roles and they're taking on as fathers and husbands and whatnot, and how they're trying to approach that 5-10 years into marriage, you know, and aiming for the 25, 35, 45 year milestones. And you guys are a perfect example of that. You know, you're an awesome example for us. You're a great fellowship and accountable, you know, family for us in our marriage. So really value your friendship, really value your marriage, and
same for us.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate
Can I
you
put
guys.
something on the end? We say it gets better, but it only gets better if you're intentional. Your marriage only gets better if you're intentional about what you do. It's not just going to automatically get better. It's it's intentionality. You have to be intentional with it, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
I was
excellent.
thinking earlier, between the four of us, I wonder how many church-led marriage studies or marriage books that we've gone through, or
Quite a few.
Not tooting horns.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's intentional, though. Demonstrating intention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a
Those were good things.
side note.
Yeah.
And they were recent even, you know,
Yeah.
over several years.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Agreed. Don't stop. Believe it.
Hold on to that fear.
There you go. All right.
And it.
Yeah. And 3, 2, 1, scene. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Have a great night, everybody.